clash, one fall, time will explode. You could feel red blood run cold across the postcode. Got me down bad and the fear get viral. Fans screaming season done like a survival spiral. But breathe, my brother, fear don't lead. North London Warriors built from a stronger creed. Arteta armor defense like granite. We don't melt, this ain't that planet. No panic in the streets of North London. Even when that moment makes red blood run cold, we stand strong. Fear fades quick when the baseline rolls. Cannon on the chest, never lose control.
This is an emergency broadcast on all YouTube bulletin stations. There is currently a massive emergency. That's been happening a lot recently. I've been messing up. Grinch is in the system. Sorry, gremlins. Right, hello and welcome to the Adams Arms on a Sunday night review of the weekend. This is your hostelry for the hopeful, a place where football is still fun and all are welcome. All views, all cues, no agendas, no genders, just good old-fashioned football banter. And we're going to try and keep it a little bit calm because wherever you look online at the moment, where you see Arsenal fans, you see the same questions, you see the same panic. Yesterday, of course, we took our first trip to the new Hill Dickinson. The old Goodison Park was easier to remember, no? But we went to the new stadium, Everton away, 3 points, 1-0 victory, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Wasn't a massively convincing performance. Wasn't the sort of performance that would build confidence. Certainly there was not, even the most optimistic person couldn't say that that was a sort of game that would inspire confidence. However, we're top of the table at Christmas. How much more confidence do you need? How many of these title games or how many of these games in the title have to be confidence builders, statement wins? Over the last 5 years, we've gone to Goodison Park and we've come away with 0.8 points per game. So less than a point a game. 4 points in the last 5 trips. And it is actually, believe it or not, the 5th hardest fixture we have every season. So to go away there and come back with 3 points, however convincing or unconvincing the performance was, I think you have to give it. You have to take that as a positive. Following on from the really it was a really unconvincing performance against Wolverhampton Wanderers, which we nearly threw away. So I think at the end of the Wolves game, a lot of us were expecting it to be a little bit more, well, with a week off. I think a lot of us felt that the players looked a little bit fatigued. That being said, 1 full week off, what could they do going to Everton? It still looked a little bit sluggish. And that's a worry because we play on Tuesday night at home to Palace. I'll be there. And then, of course, next weekend we have Brighton at home, followed. Next home game after that is Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa with a pretty decent performance to see off Manchester United today. But are they becoming a one-man team? Anyway, the big thing for me is how many statement victories do we need? Can we not all just be glad that we got 3 points? Those of you who are ready, standing by to jump in and tell me that it's not sustainable to play badly and win. No, I get that. But you're doing a bit too much. No one's saying we're going to carry on playing badly. We've had good patches and we've hit a bit of a rough patch. Could be any number of reasons for that. But if you're the sort of person who sees us play badly against Wolves, play badly against Everton, and decides that's going to be the future season, I don't think that's supportable. I don't think that's evidentially supportable. But I'm sure you'll let me know. We've got a good crowd in. Lovely. Good to see you. Let's go through some of the comments. I know who's going to be first, even before I look, because he always is nowadays. And you know as well as I do that when we see him, I've got to do this the right order, though. I'll do this in the right order. I'm already clicking on the... let me just go to the comment. So it is, of course, Hawkwind. And his first comment was, geez, we love it. Nice to see you. Here you go. Am I muted again? No, there they go. I'm getting the hang of it. New microphone. What do you want? And my Sam. I know. Here's a prediction. Someone's going to mention the fact that I'm wearing a pink top. I'm quite comfortable with my masculinity. But it's not actually pink. Great to see you. Great to see you, Geese. Boy, Tendio's here. So we won. Indeed we did. And that used to be enough for Arsenal fans. 1-0 to the Arsenal, etc. Zanzi's here. Hawk, you are the geezer. Bit of a loving going on between those two. And Kermit's middle finger with a rivet. Something's gone wrong. Rivet, good evening. Big up, boss man, all the legends in the chat. Malia's here. Thank goodness. Muted. I know. Can't hear you, Dan. I know. No sound. That's the way to do it. Guna 1973. Great to see you. Saw your comment earlier. Loved it. It is, it doesn't normally mute me, and then it does. Anyway. Now that we can hear you, it was better before, though. Very funny. That's good. That's right up there. Why are you dressed like you're about to go skiing? Because it's taters in a mould here. It's absolutely witch's tit weather. I could do without it, honestly. Pintner, slam it down the middle, please. Colliston 42, a gentleman's preference. Really good to see you. Mr. Tom. Now, that's what we call it. DCL Baby. Don't really understand that. I'll take it though. Did anyone else listen? Just off topic. Did anyone else watch? I literally couldn't get to sleep after a long day on Friday. Found myself Saturday. Was it yesterday? When was the Anthony Joshua fight? Because I found myself awake at 4:00 in the morning watching it. I think it was Friday night to Saturday morning, wasn't it? But anyway, yeah, it must have been. Anyway, what a contest! Broke his jaw. What have I told you about colour matching your jumpers with your headphones, Dan? Literally nothing, Rosie, but it's amazing to see you. Thank you for being here. Then we've got Zanzi, Gov, DCL, Miss Molina's here, the Queen of Arsenal. There can be only one Queen of Arsenal. Thank you so much for being here. Good show indeed. Let me go through these comments a little bit more. And here we are. Evening legends. We won. I'm disappointed I haven't had the energy to humour the agenda, so I have no Gluminati takes to take. It is just basically the same thing. It's exactly what you'd expect. Performance was unconvincing. Why didn't we? Why haven't we? Why isn't there? It is difficult. Spare a thought for those who wake up early to do a show every morning just to talk about how bad everything is when you're top of the league at Christmas. The story, of course, is top of the league at Christmas isn't a trophy. I have a question for you if you're one of those. I don't know if my boss is in. But if you are one of those that wants to tell me that you don't get a trophy for being number one at Christmas, would you rather be second then? Is that what you're saying? Would you rather not be top? Top is good. I do appreciate that we've been top 3 out of 4 years, and so far we have yet to lift the big trophy. But it's pretty straightforward. All right, when it comes to names, testing me on names. Luana Costella Cabana Jerez. Hello, brilliant to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hawkwind says Malia. Miss Melina says, hi, Mr. Tom Legend. He is indeed a legend. Did you know what? I almost forgot, didn't I? The thing I love to do most when Mr. Tom makes his appearance. This would be quicker if I could find it more quickly, but I cannot. Here we see, I've lost it. Don't tell me I've lost it. It's my favourite one. That name again is Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom. I'll have to come back and find that when I've got more time to look. I might have done away with it. Also, I got a copyright strike for playing a little bit of oh, there it is. A little bit of Braveheart. Not this, though.
Almost everything has something to do with Leeds United. Mr. Tom, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Tom. I can't help it, but I'm sitting here thinking, what would happen if you told AI to go fuck itself?
I thought of you, Mr. Tom. I was watching something. It was a Saturday night skit, I think, and they were doing a thing about how the entire premise of his plan is to go back and sleep with his mother. I think they were watching us when we did the show, you know. Great to see Mr. Tom. Zanzi, Rosie, my favourite people. I'm going to take that personally, Colliston. I will take that personally. Leah, Queen of Tea. How the devil are you? Kettle's on. Tea soon. White, no sugar. And here's Ina Yendrup with an H. That's a bit lazy, Ina. We could do with an I after that or something. But fantastic to see you nonetheless. The absolute queen of Rangers. How are Rangers getting on? I genuinely don't care. I'll be frank. I'm happy we simply won this. Not the type of game we win in the previous 2 seasons. Maybe we draw, maybe we lose, but we wouldn't win. I think we've won once in 7 years up there. Irrespective of how good or bad the performance is, you know, when we beat teams really comfortably, everyone's happy, almost. But when we win and it's not an attractive match, when it's a tough watch, which that game was, I know that not everyone's going to be happy about it, but when you're top of the league and you're still having to fend off people saying it's not sustainable, I tell you what, probably isn't sustainable, playing badly and winning. But when I hear people saying things like, well, what if we're playing up against a good team, we play like that, we won't win? And you say, well, there's nothing to say we would play like that against a good team. We didn't play like that against Atletico or Bayern or Man City. We didn't play like that against Aston Villa. We did lose, but we didn't play that badly. We did create chances. Yesterday was a little bit within ourselves. The end of the Wolves game was a little bit within ourselves. They tend to just try and eke it out at the moment. Maybe they're conserving energy for other parts of the season. I don't know. But certainly 3 points. It should be true that 3 points stifles a lot of this nonsense. When we play really well and lose, they complain. When we play really badly and win, they complain. I think we're getting the agenda is that something is always going to be worth complaining about. Not for me. I have too much experience, too many years of not being top of the table to be pissed off when we are, for whichever reason. They keep telling me, oh, Man City are coming. Man City have lost 4 games this season. Let's not forget that. Hawkwind, hey mate, how are you? Well, hello, Miss Molina. And then we go all the way through here. Free Gaza. Just Free Gaza. Especially with a name like that, couldn't you go troll somewhere else? You're not funny enough. That's the worst thing about it. Congratulations, City, for winning the league. I saw your comment there that they won it in February 14th, which is yet to happen. But you're very confident, and very stupid people usually are. Confidence is one of the superpowers of the slightly ridiculously stupid. So enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. That's to you, 3 Gaza. In any way, shouldn't it be 3 Gaza? And it shouldn't be Gaza. Evening, landlord. I'm feeling minty today, so I'll have a pint of crème de menthe and a packet of mints, but not the Everton type, please. Not the humbugs. It took me ages to remember that the stadium used to be called Goodison Park. I had a total mental freeze on that one. Hey, mate. No, said at the start of the season, I believe they'll win this season. Had a feeling. I still believe they will. Top of Christmas. R.I.P. Hungry BG. What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Good. What is that? At R.I.P. Hungary BG. I don't get it, but it's very interesting. Do we go strongest lineup? Are you talking about the game I'm looking forward to very much on Tuesday night? Yes, you are. No, I don't think so. But I think he rested Eze. Eze's got to play, hasn't he? I don't know. Full strength side. It's a really good question. I don't know. Open it up to the chat. Guys in the chat, can you let me know, would you go full strength? Sensible comments only. Rosie, there's no point in telling 3 guys in 1948. Sensible comments only. He's a... I think the medical term is moron. We could have won that 3-0 easy. This takes me to the second big talking point that I have, by the way, which is that all week in the run-up to that game, there were discussions around, is Gyökeres a flop? Is it, I even heard people saying we should judge him in the same metrics, by the same metrics we judged Kai Havertz. And of course, Kai Havertz got the pity penalty. Well, now Gyökeres has a pity penalty because Saka usually takes them. But The question that revolved around Gyökeres is he playing as well as he possibly can, but no one will find him with a pass? Or is he just not quite up to the challenges of the Premier League? Now, I've never said any different, but when he was playing for Sporting, or for that matter, Coventry or Brighton, I didn't watch him play, so I never really had a sense of what he was. I watched the highlights reels that we all did, and I felt like he lacked a bit of technique. He wasn't necessarily a finesse player. We got that. But he is a unit, right? He looks like he would bundle through defences and skittle defenders. But in the run-up to that ridiculous handball penalty, the apparent push on Victor Gyökeres that caused him to fall over like he'd been shot, that wasn't a big push. There were a couple of times also in the game Martin Odegaard does find him. And in Martin Odegaard's frustration for me, the frustration of Martin Odegaard for me at the moment is he's not setting up any goals. He's not really even close to. Some key passes in that game, but nothing. One of them, straight onto the head of Victor Gyökeres, and it goes left, high, wide and left. He wasn't impressive at the things that he's supposed to be good at on Saturday. So I think this conversation around, do we need to change the system? I don't think you would change the system for somebody who looks that out of form at the moment, would you? Beating Wolves and Everton by 6 goals each doesn't land you with 8 points. No, that's right. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, in the end, no one will remember this performance if we win the league. There are so many performances. I know the Portsmouth draw always gets talked about with the Invincibles. There were others. There was Charlton. No one remembers the way you won a game if you won the game. You're there for the 3 points. You take the 3 points. You go home. Winners win. Losers make excuses. And the post saved them. That shot by Trossard. I got cross with him about it because I thought he should have drilled it into the bottom right-hand corner. But at the same time, that is a sort of finesse finish that hits the post. If it goes in, obviously if it goes in, we're 2-0 up. It's a whole different game. We were okay. We're not as good as others are saying. In that match, I didn't hear anyone saying we were good. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I give a shit how good other people think we are. I don't trust the opinions of other fans. Like now they talk about, I loved watching Arsenal in the 90s and noughties. Such a good team. They weren't saying that back then about Thierry Henry. So I really don't care what away fans think or other fans think. There was a bit of controversy. I hope Nate comes in. I'd love to talk to him about it. There was a bit of controversy over the singing. Arsenal fans were singing unkind songs about the people of Liverpool, which I think is completely out of date now anyway. Okay, this earned a sub. Keep going, man. Have a good day, night. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think that makes 1,997 subs now. We're getting into that danger territory of 2,000, after which there's no looking back. The race to 2K is, we're up to 1998 now. Beg pardon, we've had that and another one. But it's brilliant that you're here. Hopefully, you will enjoy all the future content, doing live shows, and there's videos on the way as well. Epic. Got us in the same bloody post too. Whoa. Oh yeah, true. Oh no, well, it's good to see you nonetheless. Forced jollity, crap music and unleashed consumerism. Are we talking about Christmas now? I am cold. It's BX Gunner 81. I am freezing, mate. I haven't been in this office all day because it's Sunday. And I came in here to watch the Man United game, gone back in to be with the log fire, and I'm back in here now. You see the breath? It's that cold. It's brass monkeys, mate. Freeze the balls off a brass monkey. I'm such a Scrooge. You are. Not everyone loves Christmas, but I do. I love it deeply. I don't think to go 100% strong team because Brighton are one of those awkward teams. No, I think he means the Palace game, Amelia. We've got the Palace game at on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. I don't know what that says, so I'm going to scooch past it. I thought I was Colliston, your new levels. Yeah, no. Friday into Saturday. Is that what it was? Yeah, it was. It must have been. 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can't get to sleep. And I saw Expressions was doing a live stream. I was like, how bad has Tottenham got that he's doing 4 o'clock in the morning live streams? Tuned in, and obviously 'twas the boxing. And I was like, oh, I'd watch that. I don't know if I'd pay for it. And found out it was on Netflix. There is a part of me that just thinks the world has changed and has gone crazy, right? You've got some YouTuber, and, you know, I know I'm a YouTuber of sorts. Nothing like, obviously, Logan and Jake Paul. But you've got this guy who took on a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Fair enough. But to take on a two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world when you're not even a heavyweight, that is potentially one of the stupidest. Well, it is the stupid. He had his jaw broken, apparently. He got off lightly, really. What a shit boxing match as well, which reminds, sometimes you watch two great heavyweights and they're too evenly matched and there's a lot of clinches and there's not a lot going on. I haven't watched boxing in a lot of years. Well, too tight to pay for it, and I'm not sure how I feel about boxing anymore. But something I really wanted to see Jake Paul get his arse handed to him, and then watching it, he's like, he spent more time on his knees than, well, I'm not going to do that joke, but he was on his knees a lot. An altar boy, I was going to say. I just ignore it and sleep usually, or Christmas. It's a good use of it. R.I.P. Hungry. I've got to say, man, you've actually changed your avatar already. Full respect. The Joshua versus fake YouTuber was hilarious, but the still of him getting punched, that awesome jaw-breaking punch, where his teeth kind of cave inwards. You do think, this is nothing more than the circus, isn't it? This is just gladiators all over again. Look at this. Hubi Mendy's in. He's changed back to Sean B74. How good was it to have Saliba back, and how much does that underline how much we've missed him and Gabriel? Definitely was good to have him back. I thought he played really well. Good positioning. He was there. I thought he defensively looked good. It was another one of those performances where we didn't concede a shot on target. Well, I think it was one shot on target, if you can call it that. I think the overall XG was still under 0.3. Gabriel, we're hopeful that he'll be back in December. Does make a difference, doesn't it? Although I don't think Hincapie's put a foot wrong necessarily. Going with the Calafiori back in the team, going with a more normal lineup of fullbacks and centre-backs seemed to help us. And I think I would say my player of the game was David Raya, but I want to hear from you. Who was your man of the match? Malia, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but we need that cup win. We need to see a title. You know what? We're going to be playing Chelsea in the semis if we get past Crystal Palace, and then it's the winner of Man City or Newcastle. Newcastle, obviously, after last season. I wouldn't mind either of those two in a final, but I'd be really surprised if winning that trophy made this fan base happy. Fan base is largely comprised, I'd say it's about 20% people who are not happy whatever happens. 20% who are happy whatever happens, and the rest of us in the middle somewhere just going, look, can we just see to the end of the season? If you are one of these people that keeps saying, I told you so, we're never going to win the league, you get to the end. I mean, it's like saying now, you know, it's going to rain on May 26th. And that's fine, we hear you. And then the next day you say it's going to, if you say it every day till May 26th, aren't any more people going to believe you? I don't know what they're trying to do. It occurred to me earlier today that people seem to have lost sight of this. You know, you need the courage to be able to change what you can change, and you need the serenity to accept what you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. It seems to me there are a lot of people without that wisdom. A lot of people seem to think the more they whinge and complain about Arsenal, the more likely it is to change. It will not change. You're not important. None of us are important. As a fan base, we're important, but that's almost acting like a democracy. Most people are still having a time in their lives when they're going to games. Most Arsenal fans are chuffed we're at the top of the league. So a very interesting phone-in on TalkSport where Perry Groves was just absolutely amazed. This guy phoned in and it could have been a bingo card. He said all the same thing. 6 years, £1 billion spent, we still haven't won a silverware. It's like, yeah, but you know it's December. You can't win anything in December. You're just going to have to give it some time. We all accept that Arteta is here till May, and let's make a decision at the end of it. It's not good enough. Right. Well, what do you want to do about it? Why are you talking about it? You're just whinging for the sake of it? If you want to tell people that you don't think it's going to work, great. Say it once and shut up. Let's talk about something else. Like that smash button, peeps. I wish there was a smash button. Wouldn't this be good? Here's an idea. Hear me out. You know, you get the like button and the the thumbs down, and now you get hype. So don't forget to use that one. But what's brilliant is, in my opinion, what would be brilliant would be if you had a nuclear button. You can only use it once, let's say. You hate a channel so much, you just press the nuclear button and it disappears, at least for a bit. I need that button. I might get some time off of this show if we had that button. But no, you know what I mean. I need that button. There are some channels I just like, nope. Tyrell Gunner TV, though. That's not one of them channels. It's great to see you. Do go and subscribe to him. Big up the chat indeed. How are you feeling, Tyrell? Hope you're well, young man. Smash the likes and subscribe. People show Dan some love. Love it. Well, I take dab, but it is Dan. My BTTF theory is sanity. Absolutely, Tom. Your Back to the Future theory is more than sound. Getting heart emojis from ROP Hungry BG. Great to see you, man. Mr. Tom Talks Wrestling. Lord Thomas of Leeds. I guess you'd be here after the... I do want to talk about Leeds 4. Crystal Palace 1. Is that a good thing for us, or is that a bad thing for us? Do we want Crystal Palace to have sort of gone off the rails just before we play them? Ollie Glasner's got some form in cups, hasn't he? So I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Ina Yandrup, throw Wanyeri in the 10. Odegaard or Eze ain't cutting it at the moment. I understand why Arteta doesn't give him minutes. I can't either. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to get game time against Everton the way the game state was, but it's getting to a point now, isn't it? We need to see some minutes for Wanyeri. I don't really understand when he's going to play him. The League Cup seems like the ideal time to do it, but there's a fine balance, isn't there, between resting players, giving them a week off, and, you know, having them match fit and ready. But Declan Rice looked tired to me. Odegaard had one of his better games for us, but still not exciting. He just will not take shots, will he? Is he really a number 10? I don't even think he's a number 8. Is he one of these? Is Odegaard one of these kind of European sixes in the shape of Zubamendi? Is that another hear me out? Did I just say something stupid? Palace rested their starting 11 on Thursday for playing Leeds. Went well for them, I know. I do feel, listen, Palace had a really tough game against Klopp and then a really tough game against Leeds. Games you might not have expected them to struggle so much. And now they come to the Emirates on Tuesday. They're not well rested. They got injuries. A little bit of a dip in form. Sorry, Gabs, you're a mid-table player. Are we talking about Martinelli? We're definitely not talking about Gabriel, our wall at the back. Don't sell Martinelli. He's still good for UCL games more. I don't want him to sell Martinelli, but there has been more paper talk about it, hasn't there? Fenerbahce. Although, paper talk from Turkey, I don't know. I love Martinelli's whole story, but he's had enough chances. He has had enough chances. I didn't think Trossard looked great in the game either, though, to be honest with you. What did you think of Trossard? Or play him at 9 and watch him fly. There is a lot of that sentiment about, isn't there? I mean, now that we're getting Jesus back on the pitch, now that we have Yokkers seemingly fully fit, and it isn't that long before Kai comes back. So, are we sport for choice? Collison, I understand. Viennese biscuits dipped in chocolate. Forget about it. I like them. I like any... Well, I'm from Vienna, so any Viennese biscuits do for me. Facts, play him not. I love it. Facts, play him 9. He can be decent there. That's what Arteta lacks, creativity. Definitely true. We definitely lack. I mean, look, I think this has all our team at the moment has the hallmarks of a team that's built from the back to the front, right? So like they put in a really good defense and keeper, and now he's got the midfield he wanted, interchangeable players that can come in and support. Saka on the right, that's entrenched. But who's your number 9 and the left wing? I thought Trossard was a little bit below par, but it's always start with Trossard, finish with Martinelli. And Noni Madueke, not getting any game time either. Okay, keep going, man. You're a good streamer. Have a good day, everyone. Bye, your support from Hungary. Brilliant comment. I think that's my favourite comment. I'm pinning that one. Thank you so much. I hope I see you. Next show is usually on a Tuesday. I'm not going to be able to do Tuesday Club because I will be at the Emiraten. First time in years, man. Totally agree. With Dan or biscuits? Everyone agrees with the Viennese biscuits, Rosie. Come on, that's a given. Hear me out. Digestive biscuits with cheese wrapped in ham. No, I can't feel that one. Sorry, man. You've gone rogue. You've gone a little bit naughty. I'm not having it. Digestive is for tea dunking. It ain't for wrapping around ham and cheese. Don't be ridiculous. Don't you have bread? What's going on? Dan, you look downtrodden and a bit grumpy. How can we collectively cheer you up? Also, isn't it about bloody time you mentioned my salmon pink top? Because I will accept it does look salmon pink in this light. Can I do anything about that? No. We'll stick with that, though. No, there's nothing I can do about it. It is a red top. Rosie makes amends with a super sticker of £3. Thank you so much. This show is now proudly sponsored by Fandabby Rosie. Mental as anything. 100% agree. Don't even go there. And TV is dire. Christmas Day and Boxing Day. What are you? Who watches TV anyway? Cole, that's a quick way of being removed. What did he say? Hear me out, digestive. Yeah, I totally been him. We love him and he's a regular, but digestive's ham and cheese, for God's sakes. As Andy, mate, I haven't watched live TV in about 15 years. Yeah, I know it's a very old notion, isn't it? TV, not Zanzi. Although, which reminds me, I'm late in putting this up there. We've had some really good guests on recently. So if you feel like coming up and chatting the breeze, better with your camera on, may I just say that. Never eaten them because I haven't managed to catch one bloody fast. Oh, he's talking about haggis. There we go. Rosie, I watched a documentary about the winter haggis. I contributed to the charity Poor Little Things. Colston, I just look to see if there's anything to record for later. I'll be on Netflix or YouTube Christmas. Yeah, just watch films or something, isn't it? Just a Wonderful Life. Anyone else of the opinion that that's not really a Christmas film? It's quite a sad film. Malt Licky, Texas. Waves at Rosie and all. I know it's cheer down up. Rom-com quiz. Let's go. It's gone. I can honestly say I don't envisage a rom-com quiz for some months yet. But as I've been promising for so long, in the Christmas period, my last day at work is Tuesday. I've got to leave half day, get to London, watch the match, spend some time with the fam, get the train home on Christmas Eve, and then I'm taking a few days of Christmassy time, and then it's like about 8 days off work where I'm just chucking in the odd live here and there. And in the new year, I've decided on a brand new format for the shows. We're going to be doing 2 shows a week because honestly, 3 reduces the quality. So we'll be doing Tuesdays and Sundays going forward. There may be the odd post-match if something amazing happens or if news breaks, but I want to commit myself to a quality schedule, 10:30 Tuesday, 10:30 Sunday. Everyone knows where we are, and hopefully we get a turnout like this one. It's been brilliant. You are absolutely the best community on YouTube. Malt Licky, Texas. Hey, mate, how's you? Has Rosie watched Bride Hard yet? I tell you what, can anyone give me a recommendation? I only just saw Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I saw a clip of it today and I thought, how have I not watched this yet? Anyone seen it? Any recommendations? Right, that was not a confidence-boosting performance against Everton. I can't remember last time Arsenal played confidently in the Premier League. Can't continue like this. It was Brentford. It was a game against Brentford. And if you don't want that one, it was the performance against Tottenham. I think, listen, the idea that all good teams go through periods of a season where they're not quite at it might be because of injuries. We are missing one or two players. It might be something more than that. It might be tiredness, or it might be lack of confidence, whatever. But this idea that the only way a title can be won is by a team that smashes it out of the park every single season. If you did think that, you must have not been watching last season. Liverpool didn't do that. I think it's absolutely okay to grind out results as long as you go back into form as well. We have had a really tough few games, but the good news isn't going to come for a little while yet, because the reality is we've just played the 4th of the... If you look at the 5 toughest fixtures we play every season, Liverpool away, Man City at home, Newcastle away, Everton away, surprisingly, Man City at home. Those are the 5 toughest fixtures. We have now played 4 of them. But at home to Brighton and at home to Villa usually are not wins for us. So we've taken 1.4 points per average on the last 5 of both. So if you were predicting based on the stats of the past, you would say that we're likely to get 2 points out of the next 2 games, and that's when the meltdowns will really begin. People will start freaking out and losing their temper. And for me, it won't make any difference. I don't see what difference that can make. But can't continue like this is fair enough. But if you analyse what you're actually saying, what you're really saying is we can't continue to just get 3 points from playing badly. Would you mind if we did, though? If we scruff a 1-0 victory against Brighton. I mean, I'm a George Graham era. That was my first real era of football. And Terry Neal, but I don't remember him that well. But George Graham, we made a thing of it. 1-0 to the Arsenal, offside traps. And don't forget, in those days, you could pass back to the keeper. Football wasn't as exciting as people pretend it was. Dan, I meant don't pull a full-strength team on Tuesday and save them for Brighton because they're an awkward team. Okay. I don't know, man. Like, everything you do is wrong, isn't it? Like, if you did play a full-strength team against Palace because you want to make it to the semi-final, and who doesn't, then you are you're undoubtedly leaving yourself open. Look, Brighton aren't playing that well at the moment either. I think on form, we should have enough to beat both Palace and Brighton, and then after that, Villa. My prediction, though, has already gone south a little bit because I said that Man City would be on 41 points clear of us on 39 at the end of the year, which means if I'm right, we won't get another point until the end of the year, which I think is a collapse, and that would start making Man City very serious favourites. Be right back. That sounded disgusting. Sorry. I don't know what you two are talking about. What is shite is bride hard? Oh, right. Okay. I hope it doesn't rain on May 26th, my parents' anniversary that day. May 26th is a legendary day. Obviously, it's the Anfield 89 was on May 26th, of Friday. We all live in a Perry Groves world, a Perry Groves world, a Perry Groves world. At number 1 is Zanti Barbarian. Hello, Zanti Barbarian. 1 today. Look at you. It's no joke.
I know it's not good when we're number 1 at Christmas because we've never done it before. 4 times now.
Is it 3 times?
4 times. This is the 5th time.
No, it won't. It's definitely not the 5th time. We weren't number 1 last year. Liverpool were.
No, but we were the year before that.
Yeah,
we were in
22,
90 something
23,
or other.
24, and now, so it's 3.
4.
Go and have a quick look.
I will.
Wonderful. We all live in a Perry Groves world. Indeed.
How much are we betting on this?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're wrong, I'll mute you whenever I like.
Okay. And if I'm
if
right?
I'm wrong. Yeah, well, then we'll see. We'll see if something happens. Some good thing might happen for you. I don't know.
Oh,
I won't mute you at all. Good evening to the landlord. Half volley, well put. 1886 is here. Good evening to you too. That was horrible. I was on the other stream. What other stream? Which other stream were you on? Boy Tendio, don't go. Need a shout out. What stream? Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. This is a place of calm and serenity. This Adam's Arms, this community of people. This is, do you know what, anywhere you go online right now, you find people just losing their shit all day, every day. Grown men, by the way, men in their 40s and 50s going, it's not good enough, I'm fuming, it's not good enough. You go, do you think maybe you've added too much importance to football? You're hoping that football delivers something for you that's not really cut out to do. Perhaps you need family and friends or other things to do. But if you're so unhappy with us top of the league, what kind of a Newcastle fan would you make? Hi, Carl S. Miss Molina's here. Miss Molina, when are you coming back on the show?
Oh, Dan.
We love it.
Daniel.
I'm sorry, you're muted, Zandy. Do you want to just let me get through this?
Okay.
I would love to ignore what my eyes see and how I feel when Arsenal play, but I can't. We're papering over the cracks. Oh, God, I should have done a bingo card. Papering over the cracks would be on it. Like Liverpool did at the start of the season. Okay, that is your opinion. Malt Licky Texas, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just saying that the premise that we are playing badly, therefore we will continue playing badly, is as silly as me having said that when we were playing really well. When we were thumping Bayern Munich and Tottenham in the same week, I did not say, this is it now, we'll never play badly again, we'll always play like this. Form is temporary, class is permanent. This was not a good game. We did not play scintillating football, but we did come away with 3 points. As, quoting the great Perry Groves himself, if you can't win beautiful, win ugly. And we did that. Man City, by the way, have not. I mean, if we're papering over the cracks, so is their current little purple patch of form, because they haven't been playing well all season. They don't forget they lost at home to Tottenham, away to Brighton, Newcastle, and Aston Villa. Queen of Arsenal, indeed. Now, Miss Melina, Queen of Arsenal, woo woo. Rebel Wilson and Can't Act Cole. The lassie from My Girl is in it. No one's come back to me about the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Maybe it's. Did I have some cheese and was it a bad dream? Jesus left wing, Gyok centre forward. I think, look, wherever you play Gyökeres, he's got to not fall over like Bambi on ice, right? Like I just need him to be able to withstand being touched by another human being. Zanzi, I can feel you itching to come in because you obviously got it right.
Right, yeah. First of all, to Rosie, yeah, ID theft, that identity theft, that was a very funny film. And dates are 2002, 3, 2007, 8, 2022, 23, 2023, 24.
8?
Yeah.
2007, 8?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going back almost 18 years? Is that what you're saying? For when we've been Christmas number 1?
I'm going back to when we've been in the Premier League. Goes back to
I thought you meant in recent. Yeah, so I don't know how
2002.
many times we've ever been in the Premier League. No, okay, brilliant. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that is purely Premier League. What it is like in the rest of the league, I don't know.
I thought you were talking about in recent years under Arteta. I know that. So this is our third Christmas number 1 under Arteta.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Lolcol, what was the last decent movie you watched? I've watched some good movies. No one's asking me. Oh, shut up.
Oh, I watched that Jurassic Park.
Oh, God, did you?
You know, the graphics are good. The storyline dire.
There is no storyline.
There isn't.
Let me summarise. Like, hey, do you want to, for a shitload of money, go to a place that's almost impossible to come out with your life? Go on then. And then just go there, and all the people you expect to get eaten will get eaten. There you go, suspenseful.
But it's all these. They suddenly brought out these so-called dinosaurs which have been produced,
genetically modified.
Yeah, like that great big thing with the bobbly head. I'm looking at that thinking, well, that doesn't exist. And that flappy one as well. So that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm going to level with you now. None of them exist. But it's quite good about it. Finally, in the 9th film in the franchise or whatever it is, and they come to terms with, actually, yeah, do you know what? Dinosaurs probably wouldn't have existed in this climate with these microbacteria and stuff. Okay. Some of our fans watching this are going to have asked that question. No, they're not. Do you know what? There is I can't remember his name. Richard Jenny, I think his name was, American New York comedian who took the piss out of Jaws 4. Because it's such and he uttered the immortal line: "If you were just a brain stem, it would, and you didn't have any sort of frontal lobes or even a mammalian brain, it would still be sitting there going, no, this film is stupid." And that's how I feel about Jurassic World, The Rebirth, or whatever it's called. Right, they made each something like 90 minutes, so should both be okay. Jesus and Gyok. Melissa McCarthy, and Melissa McCarthy to you too. Rosie, Begonia was amazing. Trossard, more of a consistent performer than Martinelli. Yeah, I take that. It was disappointing. If only that shot had gone in. See, I think a lot of the way people perceive games now is the emotional state they're watching it in, right, Zanzi? So when you're watching us at the Hill Dickinson, I think it is, or the Dickinson Hill, I don't know. That game was needlessly anxiety-inducing because you've only got a 1-0 lead. But as to that, it wasn't like Everton peppered our goal or really had any pressure. Give me a sort of, like, to the point Maltlick is making here, and that has been made, it was a really bad performance. If Trossard's goal goes in at 2-0, would people still feel that way? What was your kind of feeling about the game in general?
Well, the first half, Everton just didn't do anything, did they? They just sat back with like 10 behind the ball. You know that they're supposed to have had a shot on target. I can't even remember it.
Not only can I not remember it, but I watched the game again and didn't see it. Like, it must have. I don't know like who had the shot, when was the shot, and it was clearly one of those ones that sort of Raya just goes like that and it's all over.
It must have happened in the second half because in the first half they didn't have anything.
Yeah.
I mean, their XG was 0.2.
Yeah, I mean, it was 0.3 by the end of the match. It wasn't as though...
Did it even get up to 0.3 at the end?
I'm just looking now, yeah. No, I'm sorry, it was 0.2. No, you're right, it was 0.2. They did, apparently. I'm going to look up who had the shot on target because I mean, in fairness, they had 2 shots off target, 1 shot on target.
Ooh.
It might just be the stats guy going, just give him a shot, man. You know? Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's see. What have we got here? Saved. Yeah, so in the 49th minute, Alcaraz had a shot that was saved.
All right.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well done, Everton at home. Rebel Wilson is Australian dandy.
Yeah, I do realise that now, but it's Australian, American, they all sound the same to me.
Fair enough.
Women-wise,
anyway.
See.
Oh, I misread that. No, I don't think that's Rosie's fault, but punctuation would have helped. Rosie has written Rebel Wilson is Australian Zanzi, so I read that as she is the Australian version of you. No. When actually what she's saying is Rebel Wilson is Australian Zanzi. McCarthy was in response to Zanzi wondering about the other chubby, not funny actress. Oh man, we could do a whole show about not funny actresses. Not salmon pink, it's orange. All right, okay. Those Lee Gunner Northside guys are nuts. I think they're actually not Arsenal fans, to be honest. They make their living from attracting people to their shows and for talking for ages. I mean, there's nothing more depressing than seeing 2 apparently grown men discussing hot girls like a pair of teenagers. It's really embarrassing. They did a whole... Yeah, no, I find it really difficult to say anything nice about them, so I'm not going to say anything at all. I think Zanzi is referencing Melissa McCarthy. Thank you, Mr. Tom. We should had draw. Unlucky. That's defence we like. Working next game. Chances will finish. Lucky Singh. I'm really liking this Man United at the moment, mate. I've got to say, I thought it was going to be 2-2. I genuinely thought that it was going to be a 2-2 game between Aston Villa and Man United. I really liked a lot about... Yeah, I think Šeško, his touch was a bit all over the place. I think Man United, especially with this one game a week, you've got it easy, let's be honest. Tomato. Sorry, didn't realise that Rosie already said her. Yeah, Miss right. Yeah, I said ages ago, Zanzi ignored me because I spilled his pint. There's more where that came from. I meant with the cup to boost morale, to win something big this season. I know, I totally get it. I would love to see us win the League Cup. I think for a normal person, okay, let's say this, right? Let's say by normal I mean not in the margins, not like radical. The normal person, a radical person will want Arteta sacked even if he wins the Premier League because they'll say he's not good enough. And when you ask them what, they'll say he's not good enough to win the league, and you'll roll your eyes to heaven, but you can't reason with them. An opposite of that would be the radical person who, if Arteta's still here in 5 years and hasn't, won anything, we'll still be talking about process. The rest of us are in the middle. The rest of us are waiting to see what we think. I'm not prepared to say with certainty that we will or won't win the Premier League. I've said it before. My current, looking at the predictions based on game-by-game analysis of points scored in the same match in previous 5 years, Man City are on course to finish on 92 points and we're on course to finish on 89 points. That makes that game at the Etihad massively important because I have given them 3 points for it. So obviously if it's a draw, that puts us level on points and goal difference would be a factor. At the moment, we're about level on goal difference. I can't even remember. I think if we're not level, it's very close. So if it was level, they would win on goals scored. We've got to do something about making sure they don't. But that's how close this league is. Anyone who is absolutely certain one way or the other, I'm sorry, he's kind of suffering from a little bit of overvaluing of their own opinion. No one knows who's going to win the league this season. But all I keep thinking is, so far in the first 17 games, we've done better than anyone else, haven't we? Something to be happy about. I really like Identity Thief with Melissa McCarthy. Oh, I have seen that film. It's got the guy from Ozarks in it.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I loved that film. She is really good in that. Ina Lee Gunner is definitely an Arsenal fan. The Arsenal fan base is a broad church with a variety of perspectives. Yeah, but I don't necessarily think he's an Arsenal fan first and then a YouTuber. I think if there was more money to be made in just saying wonderful things about Arsenal, I think he'd do it. I think he is suffering a little bit with narcissistic personality disorder. And he's not quite as smart as he thinks he is. But then that's probably true of a lot of us. Identity theft is only funny because of the bloke, Jason Bateman. Joseph. What a Christmassy name. Great to see you. Give me 1-0. Sorry, give me 1-0 wins off set pieces and corners to make rivals cry. I like that. That's a good old-fashioned Arsenal opinion, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's only a recent phenomenon that you can't just win a game. You have to win it convincingly. As I said in the intro, or at least I think I said it in both intros, but I definitely said it in the one that was muted. How many confidence-building results do you need? I get people saying, "Oh, I've got no confidence in this team." It's like, well, maybe just look at the table. Just go, "Oh, we've played 17, we've lost 2. Man City have played 17, lost 4." If you extrapolate that, then probably we'll lose 4 or 5 games in the season. They've already lost 4. Now, it's no proof, and anything can happen in football. We could play Brighton and Villa and lose. But given what we've done so far this season, it makes more sense to predict that we'll get at least 3 points, maybe 6, possibly 4. I am pleased to tell you all, as I think I've lost track of where our subscriber count is, but you do lose them as well. It's never set in stone. You can have 2,000 and then go down to 1,999. It's always here going to be about quality rather than quantity. But shall I have a quick look in case we're at 2,000? Then I'll do a big whoop. Oh, we're 2 away from 2,000. Zandy, you couldn't just subscribe yet, could you?
What were you subscribing again?
Oh, you've already subscribed? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Rosie,
I did last week.
Oh, well done. Rosie, could you subscribe? Anyone who is here who has not yet subscribed, I would suggest you subscribe now. This would be the time to do it.
Okay, Mrs. Doubtfire.
You fidgeting Doubtfire, dear. Right, I do love microphones. What do you say? Oh, by the way, I loved your comment on the video. It's a new style I'm going for. I wanted it to be calm and quiet. I was very quiet, Dan. It's like, first of all, I know that. Second of all, if I didn't know that, there's nothing I can do once it's published.
Yeah. No, I know, but are you watching them before they get published? So you know what the sound's going to be like.
On mine, it sounds okay. You can turn it up, and it's not my normal voice, but it's me using the microphone, and I'm clear, and I figure, hey, listen, we're trying different things. But essentially, I've spent some time thinking about what the Adams Arms and the Gooner channel is all about. And for me, I suppose what it's really about is a nice, quiet, calm look at football, a community of people that matter more than the games, all right? So that when we win, we celebrate together. When we don't, we're here to talk biscuits.
So when you made that video, you were talking on the saloon side of the Adams Arms rather than on the bar side of it.
Yeah, I felt like it was one of those ones where someone's come in and you just want to go, it's all right, let's be calm. I had this feeling that we were going to draw that game. I really thought 1-1 was the likeliest result. Then, of course, when you looked at the team that they had to put out was a little bit light. So I thought, you know what? We're still going to have to score here. I think we will score. I wasn't expecting someone to try and catch the ball. That was the silliest handball since Gabriel picked up the ball in the area playing Bayern. And I don't know, but so I was convinced that the whole fan base would go into meltdown, and and I just thought I just want to start this protocol of relax. It's not even the halfway point yet. I never forget 1989. We had to play Derby at home, Wimbledon at home, and if we won those 2 games, we'd win the league. Went out, took to the pitch against Derby, lost 2-1, and then got a draw against Wimbledon, and it was over. Now, on the 26th of May, we had to go to Liverpool and win by 2 clear goals. That never happened. And we did anyway. So I think all I'm trying to say is, whatever your feelings are, They're absolutely your right to have them. It doesn't mean you're right. So when people are saying, how can we drop points against Everton? I was like, if we get a point at Everton that is consistent with our usual track record at Goodison Park. New stadium for us, new stadium for them. We're not in great form. They're not in great form. It's hard to predict. I thought Everton is like one of the top 5 most difficult matches for us every season. And I could just feel it, on the heels of the Wolves result. I wanted it to be convincing. I wanted to see the players rested going at it. Maybe they didn't go at it because they were a little bit holding back for future games. Maybe they just are tired. Maybe this is, like Mortlicky said, papering over the cracks and we are really rubbish and we just fluked our way to the top. But yeah, so I was trying to be therapeutically calm. I hope that came across.
It did. Very quietly, but it did.
Now, don't panic, but we've got Brighton at home coming up, and that could be a bit of a shit game for us.
Okay.
He's hilarious. It's a bold strategy with his crab hands. I've lost the thread there somewhere. Mortlicky Texas, he's toxic in my opinion. It's okay to have different opinions, but don't try and push your opinions on others. Yeah, I think I don't care for Lee Gunner's footballing opinions, but it's when he goes saying punch someone in the gut or kick him in the stomach because they've got a colostomy bag and joking about the fact that person's family unalived themselves. That's horrible. That's horrible. It's beyond football. Let's keep it football, people. If you want to get personal about shit, go to your local pub and do it. You'll have more fun. I think there's a few movies like Identity Thief are decent for passing time. Due Date with Zach, that was a good one. Robert Downey Jr. with the Millers with Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, love her. I watched Hell and High Water last night. Never seen it before. That was good.
That with the Millers. I mean, that was fucking hilarious. That was.
I'm trying to remember that one.
It's where they go on that journey, isn't it? In the camper van.
Isn't that? I'm confusing that one with Sunshine. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jason Bateman and Melissa McCartney in that film where he was talking somewhere. Can't recall where now, but it was funny. I think that is Identity Thief.
Yeah, Rosie's already.
The Sandra Bullock film where she's a writer. I don't know. I'm gonna have to race through these because you guys have been leaving bare chat.
See now, Melissa McCartney and Sandra Bullock, they did a good film together. I can't remember what it was called, but wasn't she a copper or they were both coppers or something like that? I can't remember that. But
couldn't tell you. Mortlicky, I agree. I want to see different tactics and give young players more minutes. I can't think of a listen, before a manager wins a title or a couple of trophies, you're always going to have different opinions from Arteta. Definitely I do. I felt like we could have done a little bit more with that game yesterday. I don't think Odegaard played badly, but he's not as exciting. I do think he just seems like a bit of a Zubamendi type. It's keep the ball at all costs. I get it. Like points of the game yesterday, we were 80% possession, but it's not exactly exciting. You have to win those games, and we did. But yeah, definitely love to see Wanyeri come on. Probably wanted to see Eze come on, but then the manager's ultimately judged on how many points he accumulates, and he accumulated 6 points from the last 2 games. We might have looked like we were shit, but shit teams don't usually occupy top spot at Christmas.
I'd like to see Madueke come on because, I mean, that was a dumb.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, because since he scored those 2 goals, he hasn't played.
It is mental that he can be on. He can look that good and then just not get played anymore. It's a little bit like when you think, is he nicked? Did he accidentally prang Arteta's car in the car park or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. But yeah, but then you always think, that's the manager's job. He gets to make those decisions. Tom has pointed out that the chant that we were singing, apparently, and I don't really. There was a very famous chant that always used to get sung at Liverpool fans, to some degree Everton fans, but not nearly as much. The old sign on with a pen in your hand, you'll never work again. And they were doing Feed the Scousers, Do They Know It's Christmas? And they hated it. And I think to some degree, if you want someone to stop taunting you, probably don't react badly when they do. That would be my advice. Not that anyone's asking it, but yeah, I've always felt like we've had a kindred. That we've been similar to Everton. Both teams, I think they've been relegated once, haven't they?
Yeah, it was some time after we've been in there, though, isn't it?
And we've never been relegated yet.
I know.
The Heat is a time passer as well. Rosie, I'm so old. I'm old, so E.T. or Empire Strikes Back. Yes, go on, Cole. Yes to Empire Strikes Back. Toxic is a very subjective term. One person's toxic perspective is another person's honest or passionate opinion. I'd say that. Do you know what? I was thinking about this on my walk today. People who call themselves realists and yet they are always predicting bad things will happen. It must be a point where you go, how can being a realist and a pessimist always be the same thing? It doesn't make sense. Toxic in the sense, I would say it's toxic when you call someone a cancer because of their opinion. It's toxic when you smash people over the head with your own opinion so consistently. You shout at people, you're vile to people. You talk about people's families unaliving themselves. These are all toxic elements in any conversation. You wouldn't welcome it in your house. But yes, absolutely. One person's toxic is another person's not so toxic. Malt Licky Texas, we can agree to disagree on that one. I agree to disagree a lot. I once saw Cockneys versus Zombies in the cinema. Your commitment to cinema is very good. Now we've got Gary's here. Hello.
Goodbye, Gary.
Hello, Gary. There he is.
Oh, he's actually here. Blimey.
I know. I thought I'd catch you out with that.
Yeah. Hello, Gary.
Hello,
What do you
Dan.
think,
Hello,
Zanzi?
Zanzi. Hello,
Mick
chat. Everybody in the chat.
Hello, Curtains.
Oh, shut up. You all right, mate? How's it going? Listen, I
Hey,
know that's
stop
probably too
fingering them.
exciting. Are you impressed his fingers didn't stick to those curtains where you've been at them?
Well, he hasn't. He just saw them. Give it 5 minutes.
The ink will barely be fresh on that restraining order before he breaks it. Right, we're discussing the sensational, scintillating, stylish, attacking, flair-filled festival of football that was Arsenal away to Everton. What was your take on it, Gary?
Man, I I was disappointed watching it. I thought after the last game we would see something like the team would look energized or something like that, like a little bit of extra, just because of the way the last game went. Yes, I understand they got 3 points, but I'm always performance before results. That's kind of how I look at it, because if you're consistent with your performance, then your results will follow. So I thought we would see something, for me, a little bit better, especially in the attacking phase. I know our defense, no matter how, gives us a chance, but attacking wise, I just thought we would be able to do better, but didn't see it. So
no, I'm going to ask a question to both of you to ponder while I rattle through these amazing chats. And that question is, we had a week off. We looked tired and sluggish, and the players looked like they just wanted the game over and done with against Wolves. That led to us sitting back a little bit too much, and we invited unnecessary pressure, which led to an equaliser, which, in fairness, we were able to go up the other end and put right. But I thought with a week of rest and some training and some team bonding, whatever else, so we'd look fresher yesterday, and yet we really didn't look any fresher. So my question is, why is that? And I'm going to go through these comments and be back for your answers. Malt Licky Texas says a fist bump. Gary, your mic's picking up your breathing, and it's making me slightly aroused.
Sorry, is it better
It's
now?
like the phone
Hopefully.
calls I leave. Yeah, it's much better. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know it was that sensitive.
Oh.
Your nose.
It really is.
Yeah, your nose, your ears. Sorry, your ears.
I know what you meant. Moss is here. Hap Sundays. Merry Christmas. Greetings to all the great Gooners. And with Ranger Rosie too. Losing to Hearts. Punishable crime, Rosie. Yuck.
I watched the end of
Weapons is
that
great.
game. Ouch.
I don't know they're ever playing. I know that the new Celtic manager might last less time than he might be out before
He's actually won a game now.
I don't know anything about Scottish football, and if it's all right with everyone, I think I'll just have to I don't have the room to care. I just don't. Begonia is fucking amazing. Moss, who did I say would win the league at the start of the season? Don't know. Tom, can you tell me what the movie was when I was born, November 6th, 1985? Oh, that's close to Ghost. Oh, no, it's a year after Ghostbusters. I Will Puke Everywhere is Jambo's win. I don't know what the Jambos are. It sounds like a delicious sweet. If you like cinematography, acting, and story, Begonia is next level. I shall give that a check. 1985, I was watching some Rocky or Rambo, and back then, yeah, Rocky 3 is 1985, isn't it? Or maybe not. Maybe it's 83. I'm here, Zanzi. Well done, Light. Rosie, US box office number 1 was Death Wish 3. Oh, God, I hate those films. If the Jam Tarts with SPFL, it's a Scottish football thing. Sorry, no room for it. Rosie, you box office number 1 was Letter to Brezhnev. Oh, that was an all right film. Don't know if that made it across the pond yet. Best movie this year is Formula 1. Too many cars. I've never seen it. Mob Boss is here with the 4 laughs. Raise the standards. Another incredible bit of creative thinking and coming up with your own ideas there from a man who effectively acts as a cut and paste mechanism. Death Wish or Dirty Harry movies. They've remade Death Wish as well. I saw that recently. Just seeing the above comment. Bateman, OG Teen Wolf, his sister Justine, classic sitcom We Grew Up, Family Ties with Canadian Michael J. Fox, the star. Yeah, I remember that. That's why he didn't originally sign up to do Back to the Future, because he was still committed to the Family Ties that he was doing. I'm unsubbing so I can be 2K. If you all unsub, you can all be 1. How's that? Go for that. Cannot hear him. That's fine. Al Bundy is the best. He is. A Modern Family is one of my favourites. Rosie, let me explain maths to you. Oh, that'll be fun. Pull up a chair. Mansplaining. Colliston 42, a gentleman prefers. Boring and rubbish Arsenal has a higher expected points possession and more touches in the opposition box than majestic Man City. Joseph, I like you a lot already. People talk about Man City like they're the Man City of 3 years ago. They've lost 4 games. Don't let the Leeds result distract you from the fact that Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in one game against his arch-rival Mason the Line Dixon. Okay. Everton should have had a penalty from Saliba's miss kick. I do want to... Look, I'm going to put... Yeah, I want to talk about that. I am obviously biased, but we will talk about that. I'm a Chelsea fan, but Arsenal's football is terrible. Thank you. I always care for the opinion of Chelsea fans. Oh, no, hang on. Sorry, I misspoke. Tom, do you have any other movie theories besides Back to the Future? Oh, you've lifted that rock. Yes, Harry and Marv are immortal. Colliston 42, hi. I'm reading a lot of these comments, but not all of them. We are so bad, yet we're top of the table. I know, it's awful, isn't it? Imagine being this shit. Chelsea are amazing, and they're, 5th? 1989 Derby still hurts. Yes, it does. It does still hurt. Yes, it does. Good evening, or Merry Christmas. Good evening and a Merry Christmas to you as well, Ina.
Which horse won the 1989 Derby then?
Do you mind if I just read all the funny comments? And
Sorry.
to yours slightly less funny. Yeah. I did tell you guys watch series Jason Bateman Black Rabbit. Think you all would love. Well done. I like those arcs, but I didn't get to finish it. What's the premise? Brothers in New York own a pub trying to make it big, screw each other up, rather dramatic and cool. I like anything with Jason Bateman in it. Bit of a fanboy. Has anyone seen the Banshees of Inisherin? It's the cast of In Bruges, isn't it? I can never remember his name, but it's Colin Farrell. I loved that film. It is a fantastic old Irish film, basically. It's not old, but it's got one of those. It's got this old feel to it. Hi Gary, bye Gary's become such a. You should get T-shirts, mate. You have to put that on a T-shirt. Wonderful Horseshoe, ASMR, anytime. Evening all, Arsenal. O'Brien was playing netball. What the fuck? Merry Christmas. I know, that was funny. Richie 67. What the actual hell was he doing? That was definitely a penalty. We're coming back to the Saliba one. I want to get your opinions in the comments, guys. Would you have, if it was anyone else, wouldn't you have expected the Saliba one to be a penalty? Yes, Rosie, I think it was the 95th Academy Awards, including nominations for Best Picture and Director. And then we've got Newcastle should have had a penalty against Chelsea. That one, I'm not having a debate about. That was a fucking penalty. Like, what on earth was VAR doing in that one? The real villain of Home Alone are the McAllister parents. Yes. Oh, we've done it again. That is not how you care for children. Right, so I'm now unbelievably, I'm now up to date on the chats. Thank you, guys. It is the chats that make this show. So did either of you two have an opinion on Saliba's penalty?
Right. I shall go first, if that's all right with Mr. Curtains. So Saliba caught the back of his foot, whoever it was who fell over, with his shin.
Barry, wasn't it? It was Barry that went down.
Yeah, with his shin. But he reacted like he'd been shot.
Well, I mean, that's if you don't mind,
Yeah.
saying, all footballers do that to catch the attention of the officials. I think that's
Yeah,
standard.
but I think it's his overreaction, and I think it's the fact that who's playing on their left hand side, went for Manchester, Grealish. As soon as it happened, he had his hands up in the air and he was waving like mad.
Yeah.
So, personally speaking, I think they got that right.
Okay. And we are coming back to the principal question of why we looked so sluggish. Gary, what did you make of Saliba?
Well, initially when I looked at it, to me, it's almost like that whole shoulder-to-shoulder thing, but it's just with the legs, because it could have gone either way. Like, are they going to call the foul on the attacker if he hits the defender on the back of the leg? Probably not. You know, that's kind of how I feel. So I when I looked at it, I was like, what would be the foul if it was called? You know what I mean? Because I don't understand. I guess maybe I don't understand, because there's no way Saliba. It's not like Saliba came in, was late. I mean, Saliba's in front of the ball. He's kicking it. A player comes in from out of his view, gets there first. Is that, is it just a coming together essentially of two legs, or is it really a foul where like sometimes you make a mistake and that's when you get the foul, right? Sometimes you're late, that's when you get the foul. That looked like, two players going at the ball at the same time, one thinking he's got time, the other one jumping in. So it could have gone either way. I would have hated it if they gave it. I would have, I'm happy they didn't. Supposedly they may have done something like this before, based on the way that the commentaries were talking about it.
No, it did. Those have been. I have clearly remember an exactly similar incident. For me, the problem with it is, well, there's two sides that I think are important here. One, if that happens anywhere in the pitch, it's a foul. I think that's what the commentator said. And well, it really depends, doesn't it? If you go for a ball and you kick out and the other person puts their foot above you and you're going for the ball, you don't see him, but you end up kicking his leg. No, I don't think that would be a foul anywhere. And the reason I don't is because at the time that he makes contact with his heel or with his calf, and he clearly overreacts, and I'm not saying he doesn't, but he clearly overreacts. But at the time he makes contact, it's not as though Barry's in control of the ball. The ball is still somewhere else. Yeah. So it's not like if he hadn't received the kick, he would have had a goal-scoring chance. First of all, it just wasn't a penalty in that respect. And I really like the point you've just made, Gary, about what would the foul have been, because yeah, he's not kicking the guy. He's kicking out, and the guy puts his foot above him.
I said I don't even like the word when you say kicking out. I think he's just trying to clear a ball, because the same thing, that's what the attacker's doing. The attacker's clearing the ball because he's not kicking it towards the goal.
No, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's not like he came in from behind him as he's trying to attack and he's late or something like that. No, they're both trying to clear the ball out of the box for two different reasons, right? So for me, it seems like it's going away from the goal. So it's not really interfering with a scoring opportunity there. They're just trying to clear it out. I don't know what the ruling would be. Like, I understand what you're saying, that if it happened probably outside the box, they probably easily call it because they know it doesn't really affect the game much.
I don't think they would. I think if two people go for the ball and you end up, and it really is an innocuous kick as well. To see him in the pretend pain, it's pointless. But just to quickly come back to the Chalabar tackle in the Newcastle game, that's absurd that isn't given as a penalty. That is so absurd. That is a penalty every day of the week, twice on Sundays. We've got to call it out when it happens to other people. Don't get me wrong. I'm still salty with Newcastle for the way they treat us and accuse us of cheating. And I don't hate seeing Eddie Howe's team drop points. But at the same time, penalty is a penalty. It should have been a penalty. We've got Mosak Mara says, for Saliba's kick, I don't think it's a pen. I think it's a 50-50 ball. That's kind of what we're saying, isn't it? I think you certainly, Gary, you seem to be agreeing with that, and I'm for that.
That's the only reason why I think they didn't give it. I mean, if they gave it, I would have been like, damn, it's just, you know what? Damn. That's what I would have said.
I think it was Saliba that gave away one of those before. I think that's why I remember it.
But he would have been, I think he was late on that one. This one was like, I thought he was late on that one. This one, I think, he's clearly just, I thought he was late on that one. If they were that's why they called it. This one, I just don't see it. So, I
don't see it.
Yeah. Like I said, if somebody can explain to me what the ruling is, because then I'll understand what you can't do as a defender.
I don't think anyone knows. The very real impression I've been left with after several decisions is, like, I think the commentator on the British version I was watching, maybe it's the same for everyone, but like he said, like, we never know what is a handball anymore, do we? Except this one. This is definitely a handball. And that one, if you touch it with both hands and both hands are above your head and you're trying to volleyball it over the net.
So there's no, there is no, yellow is the worst it's going to be, right? In terms of the card, in terms of a card.
For the kick.
For the handball, the two hands up in the air above the head kind of thing. That's is the worst that is as far as cards are concerned.
Theoretically, it would, I think, like Zanzi, jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you deny a clear goal scoring chance, so if the ball gets headed towards a line and you punch it away, then that is effectively a red card. Now, I think it's Calafiori that jumps with him, and he looks like he's about to head it, but obviously never gets to him because I've forgotten the guy's name already.
O'Brien.
He volleyballs it. He spikes it away just in time.
I don't understand how nobody saw that. Like what? Like usually you're looking for the ball. You're looking. You look like as a referee, the ball comes into the box. Some people are looking for the fouls, and some people are looking at the ball. Right.
On the Everton channel, right, where obviously it goes for corner, and then even the Arsenal players are jogging back to centre circle. I think a couple of them appeal it. I think Calafiori says something. But the Everton commentary team on the Everton channel say, what do the Arsenal players want now? It's like, these Arsenal, they complain for everything. They go, and then there's this kind of long pause where they watch the replay and go, yeah, that might be a penalty. It's like, I mean, like what you are, football fans, we are completely partisan. So you're looking at it and going, what could possibly justify? Well, he's probably, that's a penalty. There's just nothing you can say. It's like, it's not one hand, it's both hands. It's like,
I don't understand, like, what was in his head at that point.
Maybe his hands are always there. That's the natural position for him. I don't know. It's hard to, even like, I mean, there were some great games. I thought Tottenham Liverpool, I enjoyed the shit out of that game. But you did look at Romero going, how stupid are you? How you've just won a foul, and then you're on a yellow card, and then you kick the bloke who's practically standing next to the referee when it happens. There are some times where in the heat of the moment, footballers do act real stupid. Right, let me go through some of these comments. I've never seen it. Arsenal were rubbish against Everton, yet our underlying metrics against Everton is better than entertaining strawberry pie Man City's against West Ham. I have to say, yeah, I mean, Man City versus West Ham, it's a shame, isn't it? Because if that had been a more difficult, a slightly more tricky game, it could have really, heated everything up, but it wasn't. Why? My question to both of you, you've both had time to think about it, why did we look so sluggish?
I don't know.
I'm glad I gave you a while to think.
No, you did, but like I don't think anybody has an answer for that because we had the longest break we've had in like essentially, 2 months.
I thought you said in a century. I was like, hold on.
Like essentially like 2 months. So like I don't know what more do these players want? Maybe they and if they here's the thing, and this is up to Arteta. Like if your players do look like they're taxed even with the extra break, do you still play them or do you go, you know what? Maybe they need a little bit extra time and maybe I can bring in somebody else, And the people will look at it and go, what's going on? But I think it's up to the manager to know his players and know whether or not they're going to give him
medical staff
100%.
And I think this is probably, you'd imagine, not entirely in the control of the manager, but it's hard for me to think that he would risk any players like Saliba, Declan Rice, Saka in red line territory just for the Everton game. Honestly, I did think Declan Rice looked tired and wasn't quite himself. I thought Saliba looked fantastic. I thought that Bukayo Saka looked really good. Odegaard wasn't terrible, but it was just that it's mental fatigue, I think, when it just gets to the point where they haven't got that extra killer instinct in them. Then you suddenly, out of nowhere, we create a beautiful opportunity for Trossard. And if that goes in, the game calms down. I think it changes everyone's opinion. I think a lot of this analysis of teams, how we play, is based on unrealistic expectations of Premier League footballers, unrealistic expectations of what it takes to win a league, as if every game has to be a statement victory. And to some degree, I do think that we're not necessarily getting the rotation right, because I don't think this is always physical fatigue anyway. I think it's mental fatigue. I think the players know they've got big games coming up. There's no rest in sight. I think one of the things I noticed was when there's a player on the bench that can take your position, you're seeing more out of the players. But I think Declan Rice knows he's not worried about Norgard taking his position. So I would like to have seen Norgard come on for that match. I know he's not anyone's favourite.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a different types of players, right? There are the Martinellis that need a little push. There are the Rices that don't need a push at all, right? And then there are the players somewhat in between. I mean, we have yet to see anybody really press Saka, but I don't feel like he's not giving us everything he's got. I think a lot of times he's running on whatever he's got left in his legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, but there,
I don't think this is a physical. I honestly don't think that the problem we're seeing is a physical one as much as a mental one, because there's been a couple of games where Saka's had space to run into and not. The Wolves game I thought he was great for crosses, but not necessarily at driving into the box. I don't know. I think you can put a lot of this down to the fact that, are you expecting us to be 10 out of 10 every game? Because we've never been that. The Invincibles were not that. The 98 double winners were not that. 2002 double winners were not that. And 2000, 91 and 89, we weren't that. You have shit games. Yeah. As long as the shit games are games you're winning, you don't have really a place to complain.
I would agree with you, but I'm just like, pretty much the only way I would say that is for my defense. I don't think my defense is going to be perfect every time, but my attack, I would like them to be a little bit more either consistent or a little bit better than they have been. I think for me, like, I get what you're saying. You're not going to be perfect every game, but I do believe that we have players that should make our attack better. We talk about, what is it, 22-23 when we scored 90 goals or whatever it was. I felt like we've got better players now, and we don't look any better than that for some reason. You know what I mean? So I feel like we should like 90 goals should be easy based on what we did in the past with the players that we've brought in and the seniority and the experience and all of that the players have should be able to bring to the table. But I don't see that. I don't feel like I see that in the games that we play. So
I wonder if it's the way we practice for the game, because Arteta was probably thinking, look, we're away to Everton at the new stadium, they're going to come at us. So this is how I want us to set up. And then for Everton just to sit back in the first half, I just think it just threw our tactics completely.
I think there's something a little bit more fundamental anyway. That in terms of how we set up or how they set up, Gyökeres had a couple of chances in front of goal where he really wasn't strong enough, particularly the one that leads to the corner, which eventually gives us the penalty. But there was a lovely ball from Odegaard that he heads high and wide and handsome. And then there's Trossard's shot. So let's say if two of those go in, we're looking at 3-0. Can people still complain about this game at 3-0? Probably.
And then, of course, there was Saka as well. He had that in the penalty spot where he wants in the penalty box where he wants to be. The ball was laid back to him, and he kicks it along the ground. I'm thinking, no, you don't. You have to put it up high because the defenders are there.
I don't know. I agree. I agree that the percentage would have been better if he puts it off the floor. But I think in those situations, it's a crowded penalty area. He got the shot off. It was on target. On any other day, it could scuff in. It could go in off someone. You get a little bit of luck, and the score's 2 or 3-0. And I don't know if people are complaining. Overall, though, we lacked a certain impetus. But I did not see the full Man City West Ham game. But I was watching it, listening to it at times, and watching it on the betting reels. And you saw how much possession. They didn't look that special. They just managed to score 3 goals. Cherky looks great right now. Everyone wants to be like, Christmas Cherky. He's going to change the league. And I've heard all these things with Doku and Savinho. And I think, Foden in a good patch at the moment. But I don't think we're miles apart. I don't think they look better than us over the 17 games we've both played. But I think they probably look better than us right now in this moment. But they have some pretty easy games coming up, and we've got some far more challenging games, relatively speaking. So Moss has written, all these cries for handballs and a touch in a box and faking it's getting out of control and slow motion. Tons of things look like fouls. These refs and VAR never played. That's why they're there. Some of the decisions, I think VAR's been better this season, right? I think it has. We haven't had the same level of ridiculous decisions that we did in the last 2 years, but it's still not ideal, and there are still decisions that you're going to disagree with. They don't.
Well, yeah, I'm still disagree with that elbow into the head of Marino against Sunderland.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you can't take a bit of an elbowing, you're a bit of a wuss,
Yeah.
What's an elbow?
But there again, they said, oh, well, it's the coming together, isn't it?
It's coming together, and,
Yeah.
It's all right.
When they say coming together, they're lying. That's just basically means they're lying.
You can't do that. You couldn't do it a policeman, could you? It's just a coming together, sir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a coming together, a gentle coming together.
I want the referee to be able to have control of his game, not anybody else. Like when I refereed in basketball, the one thing they said is, you as the referee, it's your game. You manage the game. Use all the whatever technology you have, whatever extra help you can get. You can, that's within the game. You use it, but it's your game. It's your game, and the thing that at least that I'm finding is that it is not your game.
Where you're absolutely right is when they ask the referee to go look at the video, and it's like, I'll save you the walk. Just go. If I was a ref, I go, what do you want me to give here? Because I'm going to go, look, you've obviously know that if you show it to me in ultra slow motion, I'm going to go, oh, yeah, that looks like a fatal injury. So should I just give a penalty? Is that what you're saying? Like, I missed it. Like, can we not be dickheads about this?
And you listen to the audio, you hear that. You hear the audio. Like, they shouldn't be telling the referee what the referee sees. That's not for me. That's not the part of VAR. VAR should be goes, I think you missed something. Here's the video. He looks at the video and he goes, like in the handball, it's pretty clear as day, right? It's a clear and obvious error, right? It's not something you need to tell him. I think you should look at that guy's hands. I think they are in an awkward position. Maybe that's not natural in terms of football. Maybe just look at the video and then see what you might have missed. And if he doesn't, if he looks at it, he goes, "Nope, I saw that. It's the call is the call. We move on."
He can, in theory. I think he can refuse to go and look at it. I don't think there's I don't think it's mandatory. But listen, I don't think I could agree more with you. It should be the referee's game, and the this sort of childlike desire to see all mistakes eradicated from a sport like football is pathetic. You're never going to do it, especially where you can be arguing for 20 years over whether something is or isn't a penalty.
I don't want perfection, because if I want perfection, then guess what? Every single kick of the ball will have to be analyzed. If you want perfection,
that's
then
what AI is for. That's what AI. Just before it launches the Armageddon weapons, it will get a football game right.
And I don't think we want that. I think we like it. We hate it.
The Armageddon weapons or getting a football game right. Which one are you worried about? If I take Champions League final, we win 2-0, then launch the rockets. Fuck it, I've seen it all at that point. Kevin McAllister met Michael Jackson, Mr. Tom, and things changed dramatically. I know. What a lucky boy. A lucky young boy. Goes on all those rides for free. The only reason you're above Chelsea is centre-backs. Thank you, Joseph Boy. I sense a little bit of a theme, a recurring theme with you and centre-backs. Yes, we have good centre-backs. Hincapié cost us about as much as your ball boy did, I think. I think your buffet at Chelsea cost you more than Hincapié cost us. But one interesting notion that the only reason we're above you is because some of our players are vastly better than yours. I don't disagree. You got to be.
I wonder if it's because we've probably won more games as well. If that's got something to do with it.
No, I don't think that's does that play a part in football?
You know, I know what it could be. Maybe it's because we don't let the other team score.
Yeah, we're really tight like that. 10 goals this season. Chelsea have been a little bit more Christmassy. There's 17 gols.
You know what? No, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's probably not it either. It's something else.
It's something to do with the centre backs. I'm telling you now. But hey, listen, if you want to come in, if you think about this for a second. What reaction were you hoping for from the only reason you're above Chelsea is centre backs? It's like, yep, you're absolutely right. Centre backs and forwards.
If that's how we win it at the end of the day, I will cheer the centre backs on.
Give a shit?
I will cheer.
Do you think there'll be a parade in North London and no one goes because the only reason we won this league is because we've got good centre backs? It's like, what are you on about? You've got to be Gluminati to see the penalty. Yeah, you're talking about the Saliba penalty. I have to say, obviously I'm biased, but I was watching that going, the way I came down on that one, I think we've covered it enough, but the way I came down on it was I've seen those given. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it if we'd got a penalty like that. I don't like those penalties, but they're out there. So if you get one, if you concede one that way, I mean, we're all assuming they'd have scored it. I'm not sure that's true anyway. I'm sure Inisherin is fictional Mortlake, Texas. I thought the Avatar film was decent if you're into films about weapons. Not really. Miami Yacht Party on Miss Molina's and Moss Sports World as requested. Love it. There's a few folk. Make sure you guys are subscribing. There's a few folk who have said weapons. I loved weapons. I turn 41 next Sunday. Would be nice if the next year was less eventful than. Yes, fucking too right. I hope you have a really quiet, boring year and we do loads of movie shows.
Yeah, I hope it's like centre backs. I hope it's just like centre backs. That's what I hope your year is like, just like centre backs.
How good is Saliba though? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like when he's not playing, you kind of think, oh, he's just in the right place at the right time, calmly getting that ball off you.
They are both good. All right.
Yeah,
they are both good. Yeah. They are both good. They bring different things to the table. I think Saliba has a higher ceiling because he's younger and I think he just has a higher ceiling based on what we've seen. But I like either one of them on the pitch were good, right?
Listen, I don't think there's a team in the Premier League. I don't watch enough football from around the world to make this assertion, but give me a team that Saliba or Gabriel don't walk into. Because Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, there aren't any teams in England that one of those two doesn't walk into. I saw a really refreshingly honest Liverpool chat at the start of the season where they're obviously concerned that they didn't have backup for Konate. Someone was saying, would you take Gabriel or Saliba? And he goes, yeah, I'd take either of them. And that's Liverpool. We've just spent £500 million in one transfer window arguing the toss about Mark Gahey. I think Mark Gahey is an excellent player, but he's not Saliba and he's not Gabriel.
I think they'd take Mosquera and Hincapié and probably Calafiore as well.
I'm starting to really like Calafiore.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why he's having to work so hard to win me over. I think it's that kind of. He looks like when something looks a bit too good to be true, and then you think, he's probably got a massive error. I don't see a problem with Calafiore at this point. I mean, it's hard to know exactly where he's going to be at any one time on the pitch, but I don't.
He just walks around like an Italian model, doesn't he? You can see him in an Armani suit.
You've gone a bit zesty there. I can't. You could see. I mean, you could see him with his jacket flung over the armchair in the bedroom.
No. I'm definitely not in the bedroom though. If you want to be in the bedroom, Dan, you be in the bedroom.
I'm in the Guna cave.
It's it's getting a little too
frisky.
It's for me.
Christmas.
I mean, come on, just tone it down, fellas.
We're warming him up a little bit too much, Stanzi.
I know. He started it though.
I know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. If I knew that's going to happen, I wouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm going to have to leave you alone on the next show. All right?
Okay. You left us alone on the last one. Okay. Most underrated film in the last decade and most underrated children's movie. I don't Galway, lovely, except it has bad traffic and weather. I've never been to Galway. I don't believe you. Wow, Huge Jackman and Jake G. I've never heard of. Thar. Huh? Boy Tendio, think I've only watched Deadpool movies in the last decade. I do like Deadpool. Ireland and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland have very similar weather to Scotland. It's very good, but you rarely hear of it in conversation. It's weird. I feel like I'm walking past people's conversations in a pub, picking up the wrong bits.
Have you ever seen any of the bloopers from Deadpool?
Oh, I'm not sure I have. Actually.
Oh.
Might have done. I'm on YouTube a lot. Yeah, Dan, they're expecting Arsenal to be 10 out of 10 every game like machines. And why are they? Whoever is. You know, now everyone's going, oh, Man City are playing really good. Oh, the Sharks following you. Yes, but they're so good and everything they do is so wonderful and their players are so on it. Why have they got fewer points than us? They've got centre-backs. That doesn't make any sense. Martinelli needs a push to another club. I think he's become too comfortable at Arsenal. I don't think it's anything to do with that. He might have reached his peak, though. I don't know. Guy who scored the goal against Donnarumma that kept us in that, got us a point in that game. Guy who scored 5 consecutive Champions League goals. I don't think he'd be short of teams.
But you know, there's roles for certain players, and we've seen the good of him this season, right? There's certain we know what we're going to get from him in certain scenarios. For example, we know in the Champions League he seems to be doing really well there. In the league, when he starts, not so much sometimes, but coming off the bench, we've seen some good things from him. So, you know, maybe that's just what his role is, and it's okay. Some players do well coming off the bench. Some players do well maybe in the cup matches and stuff like that. And that,
listen,
for me,
I think I've been fairly upfront about this consistently. At the point where I kind of, at the start of the season, I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing Trossard and Martinelli leave. But this season, I'm glad they haven't. I'll change my mind on that one.
I definitely wanted both of them to go unless they bring in another left wing and then figure it out. And you know what? Maybe they couldn't do it because of the money reasons, and it worked out for them. But I still feel we still need to improve that area of the pitch. So
yeah, if we brought Herbert Schralia in from Paris Saint-Germain, I'd pack both their bags for him. But we're not, people are talking about Semenyo and Rodrigo and all that kind of stuff. I have my own doubts about whether we're going to see anyone in the January transfer window, which is like less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we do bring something in. I think we need something.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about this transfer window over the transfer window, but I'm dreading it a little bit. So Boy Tendio is here. Thank you. I think you're here earlier. Your mic not working properly. Can you all hear me? Is that okay?
Sounds like somebody scary is trying to.
I'm under the pillow.
Mom!
Don't
Mom! Somebody whispering. I don't know where they are.
This is how Dan does his phone calls. Hello.
Phone calls? What is this, 1996, mate? It's all Zoom now, mate. Right, so here we get ready for this. This is going to be good. This is what you came to the show for. Chelsea. Sanchez is better than Raya. Oh, by a mile, yeah. James is better than Timber. Of course he is. Caicedo's better than Rice. Yes. Enzo's better than Zubamendi. Yes. Palmer is better than Eze and Odegaard. And Estevao is better than Saka. Pedro's better than Gyökeres. Yes. 100%. In fact, that is the only reason I think Chelsea are above Arsenal in the league. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's right. Oh, no, that's right. You're a 2-bob club. I keep forgetting that you... Because I always think of Chelsea now as the club that bought everything. And now you're the club that bought everything and didn't keep the receipts. You know? So I'm sure you would be taking some of these players back. Let me just put you in the picture here. David Raya, 2 times Golden Glove winner. Sanchez. Brighton fans don't miss him. James is better than Timber if you only play 3 games a season. Caicedo is better than Rice. I don't know. I think that's the close one. I couldn't tell you. If you like,
but then they play different positions.
Yeah, I mean that's one. Well, I know that. Look, Rice did play in the same position at West Ham. I get his point. Like, if you could only have one of them, I think Arsenal fans would keep Rice and Chelsea fans would keep Caicedo. I'm not offering you a swap. Enzo is better than Zubamendi. Okay, if you like. Palmer is better than Eze/Odegaard. I think you couldn't even be bothered to work it out there, could you? Cole Palmer, better than Eze, Odegaard. I'm not swapping him. And where is he anyway? You come on the pitch and didn't see him. Esteval is better than Saka is a little bit. Pedro better than Gyökeres. Possibly give you that one, actually. Stand By Me is brilliant. I love that girl version of Stand By Me. Oh, I hate it when they do that with films. Oh, let's remake Ghostbusters, but with ladies. Oh, that's equality. I am unsure if Glasner will be at the game on Tuesday as he's currently locked in Daniel Farker. Glasner sounded really pissed off in his post-match interview. I'm kind of thinking he's been earmarked, apparently. Like, you heard it here first, or maybe not, but like some of you would have heard this here first. Ruben Amorim is about to be sacked, and Ollie Glasner will be taking the Man United job.
Like immediately, like
not quite
mid-game?
immediately. No, not quite mid-game. That would be even more than immediate, wouldn't it? That would be in the past. I would have had to use the past tense there. I would have had to said has been. I didn't. But no, yeah, Ruben Amorim is out. The Man United board are now negotiating with Ollie Glasner to see if they can wrap that up. Obviously, Crystal Palace don't want to lose him, and he is. It has been a disappointing European campaign. Crystal Palace should walk the Conference League. They shouldn't have to qualify. You know, they should be top 8. The relative value of the Crystal Palace squad versus the other squads they're up against is pathetic. I mean, I watch games in the Conference League and go, Club. I spend more of my time watching that game trying to work out where the hell Club could be from. It never occurred to me Finland. Apparently Finland. I didn't even know Finland played football. I know that's rude, but actually Jari Litmanen. He's the only Finnish player I can think of.
Where did he play?
Jari Litmanen. He played for Liverpool, didn't he?
I don't know.
He definitely played for Ajax.
I thought he was a rally driver or something like that because they're good rally drivers.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I don't know what he did when he wasn't playing football. I doubt it was being a world-class rally driver. But the Finns also make great distance runners. We're getting sidetracked now.
It's probably because they're having to chase the bloody reindeers, isn't it?
I don't know, actually. I don't think it is that.
Or running away from polar bears.
No, there's no polar bears.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you don't know very much then. It's okay, but we're sort of treating this as a bit. This is our community, and we're taking care of you. You know where it is.
Okay.
Saka right foot saved offline by defender should have scored easy. I really don't like saying that a professional footballer in a Premier League who took a shot on target should have scored, because I know me, I wouldn't have connected with a ball. Right, so I am terrible at football, but I take your point. It looked like it should have been a goal. If we won 3-0, then it would have just meant Everton was shite and they're getting relegated. Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? Do you remember when we played that really god-awful team? What are they? The Munich team? They were shit. When we battered Spurs 4-1, mind you, they are shit. Every team we beat is shit, and every team we draw against is shit. So, we should walk this league. It was so weird. Nems was nowhere to be found. Then Leeds were winning. Not seen him since. The wee sausage, that is. The Sanchez better than Raya. James better than... You've just done that. Hasn't he just done that? Am I going mad? Yes, you've just repeated yourself. Unless you've changed your mind. Let me just...
No, I think Garnacho better than Trossard is.
Garnacho is. Yeah, Garnacho is amazing. I love watching Garnacho. I loved watching him at Man United when he did fuck all.
I loved when he did that hat-trick against Liverpool. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, it was a very long time ago, probably in a different universe.
There was a point. Excuse me. There was a point at the end of the Ten Hag era where actually you looked at it and thought they have got some young, youthful players breaking through. Kobe Maino. What was the Danish striker up front? Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho. It looked like they had some youth coming through with some vitality, and then it all fell apart. They have... Man United has ruined some players' careers. Garnacho better than Trossard? If you like. But no. Joseph Boyd, W5Z, you're the sort of person I wouldn't trust with a £5 to go and buy me biscuits. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd be worried you'd come back with something completely mental. The last time I watched, I was wee. Stand By Me is genuinely fantastic. It's based on the book or a novella by Stephen King called The Body, and it's all right. It had it all. Oh, Rob Reiner. I didn't mention this. I haven't mentioned this yet. A tragic loss. An absolutely tragic loss. Might be time to do a mind candy discussing some of the great films that Rob Reiner was part of. Nothing anyone has ever done in their career could ever top This Is Spinal Tap. That is... I remember telling my mum, it was on television. I was at my mum's, this is about 15 years ago now. And we were deciding what to watch on television. She goes, well, and I said, oh, look, This Is Spinal Tap's on. She goes, well, what's that? And I was like, well, it's kind of like the first of its kind. It's a new genre created, sort of mockumentary. Or what does that mean? Oh, it's like when you do a documentary and it's funny, but it looks like it's real, but it isn't real. Oh, I don't like those. So in the one sentence, my mum had been introduced to a thing she'd never heard of before and decided she didn't like it. It was like, there's no... But This Is Spinal Tap is one of the most fantastic things ever created. Rob Reiner, yeah, I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but just to add my voice to the ceaseless, countless number of people who have been horrified at the loss of such a talented and wonderful filmmaker. Congrats on having an opinion, Joseph. We should get you a little badge. It's so rare these days to get an opinion, isn't it? VAR better in UEFA, it seems. Definitely true. Also better in the Bundesliga. You don't have to have played to make correct refereeing decisions in just about any sport, really. I agree with that. Do you know what, Boytendio? Like, that is... I'm surprised it's taken me that long to hear somebody say that. Because, you know, like, boxing referees have typically boxed a bit, but not to any serious level. I think being a referee is a different discipline. You need to know the rules and what have you. And there's been some world-class referees that have never played football, so I don't think it's necessarily whether they have or not. But you would be surprised if you came up with the idea of VAR and they didn't put an ex-professional in there, because at least one of the three should be somebody who's actually played the game before.
Did Gary? Sorry, I've got to ask. Did you say that you refereed baseball or basketball?
No, not for like professionally or anything. Just
basketball.
Like basketball. Yeah.
Oh right, I didn't. Did he play as well?
I played in high school. Yeah.
Oh right, I didn't realise you're 6'7" or something like that.
Oh, you don't have to be. I mean, you don't have to be tall to play a sport. It's just it helps in certain sports.
I
but
think
you
you
don't
do
have
professionally. Like, I mean, what is the average height of a professional basketball player? Because if it's
probably 6'5", 6'8", or something between there.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not an average height. Let's just say.
No, but like there are players that are 6 feet and under that have excelled, so it can be done.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah.
But it's funny because cameras can either make people make people look bigger. With Gary, it doesn't make them look smaller.
Well, first of all, you're not seeing him stood up next to anything. Can I just repeat one of my favourite jokes about it? Make it about me. It's like, oh, the camera adds pounds, and then someone says, well, how many cameras pointed at you at the moment, Dan?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I did not mean to laugh.
No, I'm happy with I'm 52. I know my limitations. I'm not running any marathon. The Gouda channel, Dan, Zanzi, Gary. Good to see you. Great to see you, Charles. Yeah. Looking forward to a bit more. Is Unai a challenger? No. Will Unai Ball see a dip? Yes. If our team does not get Pitchforks out on December 31st when they visit, I'll be mad. We'll beat them at home. They are going through a purple patch. They are looking good. They got a good result against us. They kind of laboured to a 2-1 victory over Manchester United, and they have a run of games coming up which is not exactly favourable to them. I was watching it tonight thinking it would have been nice to be able to discount them, because I don't think you can write them out. They're only 3 points behind us, right?
4.
Oh, is it 4?
Oh no, sorry, you're right.
Yes,
right.
They're on. They should be, as I understand it, they're on 36
it's 2,
points.
Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, they're on 36
points. Yep.
They are 8 points better than you'd expect at this point in the season, which makes them the form team of the league so far. Mm. But their next game is Chelsea, then us, then Forest, and then Palace away, then Everton, then Newcastle. They've got some tough games coming up. If they get 4 points from those, I think they are favourites to win the league. But I would guess they'd drop half of the points in those. Arsenal first, and when last time Chelsea finished ahead of us? Been a while. No, yeah, but that's only because we've got good centre-backs. Everything else is completely level. As you can see, you know, the Chelsea fan who's been in here telling us his players are better than ours will tell you. Mr. Thomas says, I do enjoy going back and forth with Nems, as I can almost feel that not knowing what to say when he leads will go down. And I say, yeah, probably. It's quite disarming, isn't it? If someone says something that's supposed to send you into a spiral of anger and you go, yeah, probably. Rosie, last watched it at least 2 decades ago. It's Box Fresh / Rude 1 star. Brilliant to see you, mate. What was your hot take of how many of you, just out of interest, have been all over the YouTube channels watching the meltdowns and the it's the same narrative over and over again. We're getting away with it. If we carry on playing like this, we won't win the league. And you kind of go, yeah, but that's always true. Like if we'd carried on playing like we did against Tottenham, we would have won the league by March. But no one thinks that one game is a signal of how the rest of the season's going to go, do they? What is the mood out there, I guess, is what I'm asking, because I'm just avoiding channels now. I just don't go on them. I'm tired of hearing it. If you think of a YouTube channel as a pub, and I know that's how we see this, but if you were going into a Shane Gooner's pub every morning and it was always full of, people going, this is shit, after a while you wouldn't have to go in to kind of know what they're going to say, would you? You just go, raise the standards, papering over the cracks, not good enough, £1 billion spent, 6 years in. This is a point that I got to with it. They were going, name another Lee Gunner saying, name another club that's gone 6 years without changing its manager. And I thought, well, here's one for you, not the modern one. But when Alex Ferguson arrived at Man United, they gave him 6.5 years. And I'm not sure if it was a mistake or not. I think the idea, and then the other thing he said, which was that how comes Arteta still at Arsenal when so many big clubs have wanted a manager? I think there's a fairly obvious reason for it. Maybe he's happy at Arsenal?
I saw the new narrative is that we've got probably about 4 more years left with him, because he's not planning to be with Arsenal for 10 years. So that's the thing. So he's probably looking to go. So
his contract ends in 2027. I mean, he said in his press conference, I'll have to earn, because they said to him, are you thinking of an extension? I was like, I don't know, it's a year and a half away. No, actually what I'm thinking of is the Brighton game. Can we all just do that for a bit?
I like to say we got what's the most important game?
Next game.
Exactly.
The only game that matters. There is no other game that matters. I think there's a.
And that's why I can. But the reason why I say that is that's why I can be high and low, because I know tomorrow there'll be another game, and then I can be high and low for that one, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like if I let it like sink in and it stay here, like it does for some fans, right? Say it sinks in and it stays there. Doesn't matter what we do. We just won 2 games in a row. Nobody's happy that wanted bad things to happen to Arteta and the team and the way we set all this stuff, right? We won 2 games, but it's still really bad. It's like, yes, we're gonna have bad games and we get the results, but
this is, I think, an improvement this season. The very 2 games we would have, we did win at Wolves last season, but it was a very scrappy game, and of course, Miles Lewis-Skelly was sent off. It wasn't a home game that he was sent off. We battered them at home. You expect us to, but there's been games every season where teams you think are going to roll over someone and don't. It's what keeps football watchable. I do worry about the narrative leading the opinion. Like I want Arteta out. If he loses to Everton, which is not out of the question. We've not won there a great deal. I think it's only 1 win in 5 years. But if we lose, now that'll prove me right. The reality is there's a lot of people working too hard that want to be proven right for saying that we won't win anything. And then there's some people the other end that going, we're definitely going to win the Premier League. And I don't care which of those you are, you have to have realised by now that we're not going to know in December if you're right or not. Let's just wait and see. The only game that matters to me is the Crystal Palace game. I know that we'll go out and play Crystal Palace, and if it goes to penalties and we lose it, which it can happen, it's a 50-50 on penalties as far as I can see, then the fans are standing by. They already have the narrative written. He undervalues a League Cup, and it won't matter if he paid the full first 11 or not. They'll just go, he obviously told the players to go out there and not play well. And you think, I bet he didn't. I bet he didn't do that. I bet he didn't tell the players to defend in the last 5 minutes in the Wolves game. I bet he didn't tell Victor Gyökeres to fall over like a deer on ice skates. I'm sure he's probably saying to them, look, do the things that win matches, out you go. But people are ready anything that supports their vague agenda, and they're ready and they jump on it. It is quite boring. You're right, Gary. The refs not making decisions anymore. Same linesman, AI offsides, take linesman. I really loved your point on earlier, Gary, about like it's the referee's match and just deal with it. I think that's absolutely spot on. Boxed here. Mistakes can be removed from human endeavours, and that is another one of your absolutely world class common sense takes, Boytendi. I don't think anyone should be able to disagree with it, but they will. They will. I mean, it's like the same pricks that go, elite level sports is about winning things, and you go, oh, right, is that from your experience in the Olympics, or what have you done? What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you think it'd be like I'm a middle-aged man, who's a little bit on the portly side. I don't go around telling people what elite level sports are. I've never been an elite level sportsman, but I think even if I'd only just heard of elite level sports, I'd probably guess that the aim was winning something.
You got that all wrong. You don't know anything about.
I don't. You're right. That was an interaction that could happen every single minute of the hour on YouTube, and yet never does. Someone saying you don't know anything, the other person going, that's true, actually. Now that you put it like that, I've never played I've been to see a lot of matches. Does that count for anything? Oh, no, I suppose you have as well.
You have no clue what's going on. You know nothing about football.
Yeah, I don't. You're right. I know there's a ball and a net, and they want to put the ball in the netty thing. Terminator Future.
Thing, yes. Yeah, that's what they call it. Yes.
I think it is called the netty thing. Terminator Future coming down. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, can we win the Champions League first? Quite unlucky. Oh, shit, I'm half an hour behind on these. Wait there. I'm racing through these. Wait there. Big Gabby ready again. Dan, Zanzi, Gary, good to see you. Looking forward a little bit more. Oh, and did we do this? I did read that one.
Maybe you thought you scrolled down, but it didn't. So it's like
Maybe. Yeah. Chelsea are also still in the Daniel Farke penitentiary. First, they say we have the best centre-backs, and they say our centre-backs get protected by everyone defending. Did they say that? Fucking idiots. Fair enough. Rosie taught me this. If you're standing next to someone at a bar and they say something as stupid as that, you just go, yeah, enjoy your night, mate. Just walk on. That's all you can do in it. Enjoy your evening, pal. Let's not judge Villa off a United victory. United are crap. I'm not judging them off United victory. I'm judging them. Is that 9 games in a row they've won now, or 10 games? They're on a hot streak of
10 games, I believe it is now.
And I just think they're about to hit some bad fixtures. And if they come through that, I'll judge them then. You listen, I don't really do predictions till the 19th game is underway. I just don't think I need too much data to make an assessment. Most underrated movie, City of God. Did you know I've never seen that? And I've started watching it a couple of times, but I've heard so many good things about that. Maybe over Christmas. It doesn't feel like a Christmassy film. I'm not saying that. Building a team from scratch. I used to say you want a centre-back first, and said Virgil van Dijk for years, but 3 years now I've been saying now William Saliba for sure. Yeah, I think that's a really sound principle that you start from the back. Calafiori tends to pop up right wing every now and then. Rosie's raises an eyebrow. Other than that, top draw. Yeah. 250 million if Saudis or Reals, Madrid or PSG wondering. Rude 1 star, most underrated movie for me, The Big Lebowski. That's not underrated. Everyone loves that film. Matilda, stop it. Is Big Lebowski underrated? Everyone I've spoken to loves it. Yeah, that's how I feel. Lucky Singh, we're going to take Spirit fight next game. Same defence to make sure kick chances. I think Glasner might get you there. I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I wouldn't consider Stand By Me underrated either. It's got so many award nominations. Yeah, it's a nice movie. It's not exciting. The Left Wing to sell Trossard, not Martinelli. Yeah, I think that's... But we did that weird thing where we just out of nowhere gave him not a new contract in terms of time, but just more money. I tell you a movie that was underrated until The Shawshank Redemption got nominated for about 10 Oscars. No one had seen it as they went to see Pulp Fiction instead. Yeah, and that definitely isn't underrated. That's an immense... Both of them are immense films. Really looking skill fights someone like Conor Gallagher, Manchester United sell Ugarte. Oh, you don't like Ugarte? Please don't talk into the mic like that, Dan. It's like Epstein calling a preteen's number. No, I think he was shouting that across the room. Wow.
All right. Okay.
Don't dwell on it.
No. A second ago you were like,
He likes it.
I just
layer cakes. I think that's overrated.
If Gary had hair, it would be curling now.
Oh, Malt Licky Texas says I'll take Reece James at Arsenal in a heartbeat. Yeah, he's a good player. Where would you play him? There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis, underrated classic. It's funny, you know.
Reece James would be like Califury when he first got here, and then we'd be complaining. Because if he had to do what Califury does, if he has to do what Timber does, would he last? Because we know it's really tough to play in Arteta's system.
I am going to say this, though I don't feel I need to, and it's not a response to anything anyone else has said particularly, but there are a lot of players I would take from other teams. I don't think we've got the best 11. You know, I do think you could find other players. There are some undroppables in my sides. I think David Raya, William Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka. They are the kind of undroppables. They're a good spine of a team for sure. But it doesn't mean that I can't look at it and go, man, do you know what? This Ekatike kid, he looks okay. He looks like almost as good as Gyökeres. If Gyökeres didn't have that strange wasting condition that meant every time you go anywhere near him, he falls to the floor. My favourite British movie is Snatch. I don't think it's as good as Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. So but, you know, it's nice to have people like different things. Yeah, 100 million they paid for Enzo is being compared with Zubamendi. Then he's already lost, isn't he? That is a really good point. Like
anybody that could get compared to Saka, right? They've already lost the argument.
Yeah, it's free.
The Saka's not that good.
I know, but it's free. You know, when something's not very good, but they're free, that's it. Just put them in there. You know. My favourite British movie is Brick Lane or Women Talking Dirty. Nil by Mouth was a brilliant movie. It really, really, really good movie. Scum. One of my supply teachers in my school was in that. Please don't let them sack Amrim. Spoken like a true gooner. Yeah, but you know you're wrong because I didn't want them to sack Ten Hag. I didn't want them to sack Solskjaer because I'll never find anyone as shit as this. And then they did. And then I was like, Ten Hag, he's like the low point. If they sack him, they'll have to get better. They found Amarim. Media driven. Please, no. Everything was where it was supposed to be.
As a friend of mine likes to say, I like what he's doing with that team. I really, you know, why change anything? He's doing fine. He's fine. I like what he's doing there. Yeah. So, I mean,
I waited all of my 20s to see a Man United team this year. I don't want to lose it. Pretty crazy how media hates us so much. Big headlines. Well, Man United. That's not crazy. You've earned that. Live with it. Mr. Tom is confirming that Jari Litmanen is from Finland and did have a spell at Liverpool. And was good, I seem to remember. Look at this. Chris Nix is here. Litmanen is Scottish. I love it when people come straight in and have one of the best comments of the night. You've got to love that. That is absolutely brilliant. Great to see you, Chris. There won't be time to look at the Fantasy Premier League because it's not favourable to me. But if we have a good week, I might look at it again. When Harry Met Sally, top 3 movies of all time for me. I don't know what it is about that film. It seems like every woman loves that film. Why?
Well, you're asking the wrong people.
I just think it would be really funny if she does her fake orgasm and he, instead of just sitting there and going, okay, fair play, goes, all right, well, here's my one, and just throws a mayonnaise over her and goes, ha. That's a whole new film. I think I'll write to them and see if they want to do a remake. Kalina never played and was a beast, best ref ever. So Uriah Rennie never played and was the best ref ever. They should have had a cage fight. I don't need to be a Michelin star chef to know if I like my dinner or not. Helps, Tom. It does help. But it depends what you're eating, because if you're eating sort of a ginster's pasty and pie, ginster's pasty and frozen peas, and I'm not saying you are. Oh, yeah. Oh, a fish finger sandwich.
Can I just point out, Tom was eating KFC yesterday, so I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
KFC.
Don't start slagging KFC off.
I'm
not in front of me.
It off. Not. Oh, sorry. What are you related to him? No,
I wish I was. I'll be rich.
No, you wouldn't actually, because he had to buy the franchise. He sold it and then bought it back. So he never really. Colonel Sanders never really made that much money out of KFC.
I'll get free KFCs though.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Yeah. But I always. Sometimes I find myself craving it. It's just not as good as it used to be. That's the reality. It's totally changed the whole recipe and everything. And it's not what you remember it. It's never as good as you think it's going to be. And Work it out. How are there that many chickens in the world? I don't think there are. Just saying. Spinal Tap, definitely my favourite O'Brien movie. Mine too, I think. But what I can't get my head round how different the films he made are. Like Harry Met Sally is not like Spinal Tap, and A Few Good Men is not like either of them. It's just a absolute legend. Right, I'm calling a chat member of the evening is Mr. Tom. Have a wonderful night, gents. Rosie, thank you so much. You're an absolute legend. I won't see you on Tuesday. I don't know if that means I should do a show on Monday or Wednesday. Wednesday is Christmas Eve, so it's not looking good for that. But there will be shows a go-go over the Christmas period. Chelsea defenders are so much worse than Arsenal's that even Ben White in a wheelchair is still better than Reece James. Fair. Mosquera, Hincapié, Norgard and Marley Salmon are all better centre-backs than whatever Chelsea have for a centre-back. Fofana? Better than Saliba? Shut up. I tell you what, Fofana might be a better getaway driver than Saliba. That boy Fofana can tear up the tarmac. All in the Family, 1971-79. That was his starring role, wasn't it? Ooh, thank you, Rosie. Big up, Gary. Good night, Mr. Tom. Good night, Rosie. Are you... Not good night, Dan. Or good night... What the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? Yup. Beat Palace, beat Chelsea, easy peasy. Then Newcastle, Man City in the finals. I'd like to have Newcastle in the final, please, Bob. If Daniel Farker continues to be a sexy Lexi, I'll start calling him Fark-Tecker. Fark-Tetter. Just call him Lego Head. Lego Beard. Oi, Malt Licky. Got it nice. Maybe an older fan from Texas. I'm backing manager. We'll keep defence tight next game. Make sure. Well, you can back him, but I don't think you're bored of backing him. I think he's gone, mate. Perhaps people should have to explain the offside rule and why it's worded like that before stating their football opinion. The next team to come to Bell End Road are Manchester United. Oh, beautiful. They don't like you lot, Mr. Tom. Nobody does. My worry with United sacking Amorim is that the next guy, they might actually be competent. It was nice with Erik ten Hag, great with Amorim. It was, listen, they've had competent. They sacked Marino, Van Gaal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, I wasn't thrilled when Ralph Ragnick took over the Austria job, but he has done amazingly well. He's not a ship. He's a hero in Germany. LG Wooden Goon has said Party way better than Zubamendi. This gets me. I saw DJB was saying this as well, and I have a lot of time for him, but he was saying, oh, no one tell me that Zubamendi is as good as Party. And I was like, oh, should we have kept Party then? I was just like, what? Like, has everyone forgotten that he's a complete and utter wrong un, allegedly, by more than one woman? Yeah, no. Brian Burke.
I just also go. The Spain thing, Zubamendi's not that good.
No, I know. Well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
I don't know.
just because like, just tell me Spain goes. You know what? We're going to lose the best player in the world, and we're still going to be able to win and actually be able to compete internationally. Is Zubamendi that? Because that was like why you might not win. So, Rodri goes out, things might change. Zubamendi comes in. Guess what? Nothing has really changed much. So he's been able to keep you.
Replacing a Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah,
that's the point you're making, isn't it? And I think he does a really good job of it. I really like Zubamendi. I had a very poor opinion of him before he signed. I'd gotten to the point where when I started this channel, on 31st of January 2023, there were lots of rumours about Zubamendi coming that just dragged on, and just to the point where I'd gotten to it, I don't care, I don't want him. If he doesn't want to come, he doesn't come. Fuck him, And then we find out in January of last year that he's coming, and I'm like, who knows? But then as it gets closer and closer, and in that last minute wobble where he looks like he's going to Real Madrid, I was like, oh, just fuck him. I don't need him. So I wasn't open-minded about him, but when he started playing and I started seeing pre-season, I thought, he's actually really the kind of player I do like. I don't think he wins tackles like Thomas Partey does, but I think he reads the game better. He's more Busquets than Thomas Partey was, and I think Thomas Partey lives better in the memory than the reality. There were 2 years there where he didn't play really, and like, what did we win with Thomas Partey? I'm ready to say that Zubimendi, I prefer him, but I can't say he's better yet because I haven't seen him enough. Brian Burke, 682, massive elevations to you. Great to see you, sir.
The big difference between Zubi and Partey is Partey would put in the tackle, but Zubi would intercept the ball before it even got to the player to need to tackle.
Yeah, that's what the stats suggest. I mean, I like watching Zubimendi, but even I can be honest and say not all the games I've seen him play this season have been great. I don't think he was particularly great against Everton, but I wonder how effective he's ever going to be against a team that isn't really coming towards you. You know, he has to get too involved. So far, I'm on the Zubi hype train. I'm ready to stick my neck out and say I really like him, but then you get attacked for it. It's funny how there's so much vitriol within our own fan base. There was a time where you could go, I really like Zubimendi, and another Arsenal fan go, oh no, I think Thomas Partey was better, but they don't then call you an arsehole straight away. You know,
but then it's like before he even came to us, he's going to Liverpool, he's going to Real Madrid. Everyone say, "Oh, he's really good. He's really good." Arsenal just signed him. Oh, he's shit.
Yeah, there's Lee Gunner does this whole thing about he's brilliant. Oh, I hope we get him, but we probably won't. And then the next time you see him talking about him, going, he's not that good. I watch a lot of football in Spain, and he's not that good. And you go, I don't know. Maybe if you watch a lot of football and you're always drunk, I don't know. Is that the same? Running and passing and moving, basketball, much like football, just your body and ball and running, other sports equipment, etc. Gaelic footy would have been cool to play. Fucking, if you don't mind getting seriously hurt. Starting team versus Crystal Palace, Brian Kennedy, 8936. I'm happy to do that. I do need to take a wee comfort break. So do you two want to talk amongst yourselves, or shall I play a little video?
I can talk, and then you can come
Or
in.
you can talk as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Why
talk.
don't you two have a little argument while I go for a quick
right.
dot dash?
Okay. The curtains don't like you.
Bollocks.
Conversation over. Argument done.
I do. I'm just jealous that you could stroke them. and you do it so enticingly as well.
My hands. Oh, I feel dirty just hearing what you just said.
Yeah, you are. You're a dirty man.
Hey, you know what? Like, well, before he comes back, like, I don't know about you, but for me, as a Madueke need to start. I think they need to start, and then in the Crystal Palace game. I know Madueke maybe sounds like a stretch, but Eze I think needs to start in the Crystal Palace game.
Oh, I'm with you on that. Madueke, Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres, front four.
Yeah. I think Gyökeres. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Like if you look at the way he was playing when he got consistent starts, he just got better each game. And that was the first start I believe he's had. It was the last one, like from when he's come back from injury. He's played games, but he hasn't been in a starting role. No, Gyökeres.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so I think he just needs more starts, and I think he'll be fine. And we'll rotate him in and out when he needs it. But in reality, I think he just needs to get back into being in the role that I believe he should be, which is a starting center forward for us. So. But yeah, so I know we're just for me. I was just saying. I guess we said our front four, basically Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres, and then Eze.
For Palace, yeah. Rude 1 star, formerly Box Fresh, better known by all as Box Fresh. Says have a good Christmas all.
Yeah, you two have a.
I hope you have a fantastic time.
Good Box.
Yeah.
Whatever you're up to. Yeah. Man United love this. This is a Leeds fan. Man United are rotten to the core. Cosmetic changes won't improve their fortunes. Entire stadium needs to be pulled down and the earth salted so that nothing more will grow there in that despairing pit. Ugarte for Conor Gallagher? Nope. Partey not even making a Villarreal Canadian squad currently. Is that true? I thought he was playing.
Yeah, I thought he was playing too. So.
We're going window spend Ugarte for Gallagher, please. I'm surprised. Paris Saint-Germain Ugarte was good. I don't know what's going on there. Have a good night, everyone. Have a fantastic Christmas. Mr. Tom, have a fantastic Christmas. Hopefully see you all around the Christmas mark. Masaka Mera. Thomas Partey spends more time recovering from injury than playing. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad. I don't know how much
that's because he's having to put in the tackles rather than getting to the ball before it even got to the player.
That and he's constantly being arrested.
Mm.
Lee Gunner is a terrible scout. Yes, he is. He is. I mean, but he's, but of course, he's a great double glazing salesman. Lee Gunner, idoit. There are some words you don't want to spell wrong. They loses a lot of the power of that. But I do agree with you, Lucky Singh.
Just looking last time, like Partey played was the 3rd of December, but since he's had a muscle injury, so he's been out pretty much all of December. So there you go.
I personally, I'm glad we got Zubamendi. I know not everyone's going to agree with me. I'm kind of used to it. Yes, boy, Dio, you learning too, because a better negative agenda to rip Arsenal for dumping the party and start saying we couldn't replace him. Yeah. Lee Gunner was a guest on Rant Stream the other day. Happened to catch it. Lee was drunk as a skunk, chatting absolute fart, and the whole chat was ripping into him. I had to jump off after 5 minutes. He's one of those people that he does bring a large audience. If you want an audience, you want him on there. But the number of times I see him on somebody's show, like he was on DG's show a couple of months ago, and he was so drunk. DG had a female guest on there, and he was just basically chirping her the whole time. He's like, "Yeah, what if I sent you my email?" It's like I'm gonna do my bad joke, all right? Like maybe stop watching at this point. Don't clip this, all right? But a lot of people say that Lee Gunner is a 14-year-old boy trapped in an adult's body, and I kind of think he wishes it was the other way around.
Apparently, I was having a look at the Coca-Cola website, and that they were really panicking because when Lee Gunner left school, Coke sales just plummeted
just through the floor. Yeah,
yeah,
£400 a week he was making on 20 pence a can.
Yep.
2,000 cans a week. Saka should move to left wing. No, he shouldn't. I don't agree with that, Boytendio. Why is that coming up? That's coming up quite a lot, by the way. A lot of people saying he's playing.
I think it says Madueke needs to start, and the only way you want him to start is if you bring Sakura and put him on the left wing.
I was under the impression that Madueke was fit to play left wing. He has played left wing, not as much.
I think the drop off is the problem. That's all.
Well,
like he's already starting below Saka on the right wing, so you move him to the left, and Saka, even if he's playing out of position, will be much better as a left wing than Madueke. So you're not dropping the quality. You know what I mean?
I think from a game theory point of view, you cannot achieve optimal results by you can probably, if you say Saka's a 9 out of 10 on the right and a 7 out of 10 on the left, and Madueke's a 6 out of or an 8 out of 10 on the right and a 6 out of 10 on the left, then surely if you work with those numbers, you're still better off having Saka in his best position and Madueke in a second choice position. I don't know. I mean, if the question is what would you do, I take that. I don't really have a strong opinion. I think I would probably try Madueke on the left. I think we've tried Eze on the left and it hasn't really worked yet. Not saying it never will. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of starting to feel like Eze over Odegaard on some games, just because Odegaard keeps the ball really well. I think he played well against Everton. But it's hard to imagine a player in a 10 position, which is effectively what he's playing, having fewer shots on goal in 17 games than Odegaard, or however many he's played. He has just...
Well, I mean, but he sets back further deep, so he's never really in position to be that close.
So he's not a 10.
So, I mean, that's what people... I was watching the game, right? And I'm like, at some points, he was in between our center backs. Now, he's supposed to be in front of our defensive mids, right? Rice and Zubamendi. But no, at some points, he was back on the back line. And I'm like, what are you doing back? We need help up in the middle. It's the same way with all right, we're gonna bring Jesus in because he's better than Gyökeres. And then I'm like, what? Like, he plays in the midfield. And so when you look, he's playing in the midfield. There is nobody even threatening the center backs for Everton. Because guess what? Our center forward is playing in a different position at some points in the game. You're like, he's not threatening the back line at all. So it has to come out from the wings at that point. So I'm like, I don't like him. I like him more up the pitch. Push him. Tell him to get away from the back line if he's going to play. because I want to see him do what he's supposed to do, is just create. He's supposed to be one of the better creators of the football. I know when he's healthy, he can press. I don't know if he's got that in him right now. Don't see it as much as I thought we would when he comes back.
I saw that in the Everton game as well. I didn't think he was at it. I mean, here's his heat map, which is like, this is what you're saying, isn't it? Down here in the bottom.
Yeah, like down there next to Reyes, like no, and I don't think that's just because they were kicking corners. I think that was because he was playing that deep sometimes. And it's
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, none of their players are that far forward. Do you know what I mean? Like so for me, it looks like a bit of a man marking job on Alcaraz at times, but not trying to claim any tactical insights. I do think from this heat map that Gyökeres was more in the position I wanted him to be in, which is great. Saka was busy, if not as effective as I'd want. But yeah, so Martin Odegaard, that doesn't feel like a 10. You know? I mean, that's not that different from Zubimendi, who is playing as a 6.
I'm just surprised that Ray is that far back, actually, because he's normally up where number 2 is.
Yeah, he's probably on the halfway line usually. Here, this is interesting. Just looking.
If he clicks on Ray, does he give it where he normally standing?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can click on Ray. Hang on, I'll do it now. There you go.
when you look at that, and then you know what people say about him, they're like, he's sitting on the halfway line, and it's like, he never even got that close, not even once.
But there was the game against Wolves was a piss take. No, but I hit the one that stands out for me. If we're looking at heat maps, check this one. This is Declan Rice. People, you can say what you want. That's not really an 8 in a game where you've got at times 80% of the possession, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, he does some really good things, but like, what type of 8 is he? You know, because I assume they're not all 8s aren't, the same. I know their role is supposed to be, but they don't do the same things. Like, what do you want him? What do you want him to do when he's across the midline than when he's behind it? You know what I mean? From looking at that. I would like him to be more involved. I don't know if he took a shot in the game.
No, I was just going to look him up, but it's being a bit weird. It's not giving me the normal. I'd have to look at it. Listen, we were a little bit dry in that game. For everything, I mean, stats-wise, I know this drives some people absolutely crazy, but the field tilt was very much in our favour.
What do you think? Like, I always say to myself sometimes that at some point I want one of our attacking strong players just to say screw it, I'm just gonna get the goal and open things up a little bit here, and just like, let's move on from there. And then and the coach can scream at me because I didn't do whatever, but we have a lead now. The game's open up a little bit. Like, can we just like it's not working? It's getting boring watching it. You're watching the game. You're like, this is boring. We're not really threatening them as much as I thought we would. Can we just do that? Get that goal? Because once we get that goal, sometimes it opens up the game a little bit.
It always reminds me. I agree with you, by the way, but it reminds me of the interview with Thierry Henry. So I did quite a lot of research into Pep Guardiola because I just love what he's achieved, and so various books of his. But there is a consistent thread of him falling out with people, and there are some people who just don't talk to him or about him and just have had enough of him. And one of those. And a lot of those players tend to be the most creative ones. But I thought it was really illuminating was Thierry Henry in a European match where he was told he had to stay on the left. You have these zones that you have to stay in and you can't come out of them. And you have to look at where everyone is. So there's a perfect formation almost all the time from the box zone, positioning that he's very rigid about. And he said, well, nothing was happening. So I joined the play over on the right-hand side. I got involved and created a goal, and Pep didn't play me for 2 games after that. And you think, is Arteta one of those? If somebody did what you suggested, if Eze picks up the ball and goes, fuck it, I'm running at it. But then we've seen Miles Lewis-Skelly do it, and maybe that's why he's not playing. Maybe you do just have to play exactly as rigidly as Arteta wants you to. And I hope that's not the case because that's shit.
But you see, I would agree with you if Calafiori isn't playing Like, what is it like? He played in that last game. I mean, I wonder what his heat map looks like because he
I
must
do.
cover every corner of that field. Out,
Mm.
maybe out. You know what? He probably isn't allowed to go.
No, not really.
You know, anywhere near timber.
Not on that game. No, in that game he was pretty much.
Oh, he was pretty much
yeah,
staying on in his lane
hugging the
kind of
line.
thing.
Yeah, very much.
Okay.
I'll show you actually because I when I didn't know before I looked because I thought you could be right, but maybe if we looked at some other
No, some of the other games he's definitely been on. You know,
Yeah.
he's playing off the left, and I see him on the right hand side, and I'm like, Saka's probably going. What the heck? Oh,
That's a left
yeah,
back.
that
That's a
that is that. I'll take that. I'll take that. 'Cause we know that-
Hincapié is a little bit. I mean, to be fair, Saliba. I mean, that is a pretty well-formed centre-back pairing there. It looks like Trossard got involved, but not this area. Driving into the box isn't quite there. Saka again, maybe not on the ball as much as we'd have liked. Timber is just Timber, isn't he? I don't know how he's got the engine. He's got.
What was he doing on the left-hand side there, Timber?
getting in the way
the
of
back.
Yokeres.
That.
Oh, in the back.
that's
I think
almost
in the
certainly
front when
defensive.
he's taking balls off the head of Yokeres is what he's doing.
Deliberately. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, and him and Saka got in the way of each other, didn't they, as well? In the Everton game.
So if we look at some of the other games that Calafiori's played in, some of the heat maps. He came on as a sub for this game. Yeah, so he's basically a centre back in this one, wasn't he? That was against Club Brugge. He was actually playing a centre back. Against Aston Villa, he had a poor game. Subbed, but yeah, so not really that. Not as much as you'd think inside.
Maybe that's getting weaned out of him. Arteta likes to, maybe it's just like.
Do you think that's it? I mean, that's the. I'm not. I don't have any idea, but I do think there is an element of Arteta that's a little bit too controlling. Like I don't think there are enough players on the pitch that have license to do whatever they think. Like you said, like just go and get a goal. Like when when Arsene Wenger doesn't tell Dennis Bergkamp what to do, he just goes, well, you're Dennis Bergkamp, just go and be Dennis Bergkamp for a bit.
Yeah, because there are talents on this team, like you said, like Eze can go out there and get us a goal when we're not looking for when things just aren't working the way we plan, right? Like, and there should be segments in a game where a player can probably just do that and not feel, like you said, pressured, not really pressured, but then concerned that guess what, I'm going to get a stern talking to when I go back into the locker room, and then, like you say, maybe not play the next game. But I kind of feel like the defense once in a while has to go out of their not comfort zone, but out of whatever position they're supposed to be in to make a play, right?
Yeah.
And we don't say anything about that. Like once in a while, you'll see one of our defenders just take off the pitch with the ball. How is that allowed? But like for an attacker to do something like that with the ball, it's looked at as maybe, you might turn the ball over and there's a counter. And it's like, well, when a defender comes up, that's the same thing, right?
Ben White jumps to mind. Timber and Ben White jump to mind in that. I mean, Calafiori, we've seen him. Miles Lewis-Skelly, we've seen him. I don't know. I think it's one of those ones where I kind of know that all of the thinking I put into this isn't going to bear fruit. I'm not going to work this out. But the simple answer does seem to be, and you hear this a lot from people who aren't necessarily pro-Arteta, to put it mildly, that he stifles the game, he overcoaches them and all that kind of stuff. When the players talk about it, they tend to talk about how he's helped them to read the game and everything. And I've always slightly facetiously pointed out how amazingly lucky this guy is to be so shit as a manager and yet still be better than 95% of his peers. He's just unfortunately not better than 100% of his peers, and I think we all need that right now. Moss says, I've said that before, boy Dio, an old school idea, play a lefty on the left like Wanyeri or Saka and get Victor Gyökeres good passes from there and crosses. I do think we're overlooking a little bit, and I've mentioned it a few times now, but we are overlooking the fact that Victor Gyökeres, you can talk about him not getting the supply. He had the supply to make 3 shots on target in that game, and he didn't. So how much supply do we need to give him? How many big chances do you have to create for him? He fell over. I mean, the falling over, I think it might even have been O'Brien that was behind him. But whatever happened in that, obviously we ended up getting the corner from which we got the volleyball spike, which led to the penalty. But when he's claiming a penalty there, you got to know in the Premier League you're not getting that. You're not getting that just because a player's standing near you. And I'm quite glad you're not, because a precedent would be very dangerous. He does not look physically imposing. He is getting wrestled off the ball. He's not holding up the ball well. He's not fast enough to cut inside like he used to in Portugal. I think I'm not trying to put him down or anything. I'm saying that these are the areas you'd need to work on: strength and speed. And that's what I thought we were buying him for. So that's why I'm a little bit disappointed. Because like if I was sitting here going, yeah, his first touch isn't quite good enough, you could say, well, Dan, you bought a 27-year-old whose first touch isn't good enough. It's never going to be good enough. If you're not silky at 27, you're not going to get to 34 and suddenly have learned all the tricks of the trade. But the fact that I'm disappointed that he's not physical or fast enough, that does frustrate me a little bit. And like I said at the beginning of the show, there were a lot of people talking all week about how do we change the team to get him more service. Well, if we get him the ball in front of the goalkeeper and a defender breathes on the back of his neck and he falls over, he's never going to be a top goal scorer in the Premier League. Moss was another comment here. Like Mourinho as a striker last year at this time, Moss called and Dan poo-pooed and Moss was dead on. First of all, Moss is talking about himself in the third person, which is always a little bit frightening. And second of all, I don't know what you're talking about. Like Mourinho as a striker last year at this time, Moss called and Dan. It's a little bit like, which of the Avengers do you sound like? What voice do you?
Moreno has a role, but he's not a starting forward he's not a center forward for us. So that's whatever. When they say, you know what, Moreno needs to come in, I'm like, no, you got Gyökeres for the same reasons why you didn't want Moreno there, right? There's certain things that I think we can get from Gyökeres. It's just, you know what, I think Gyökeres, he looks for contact, and then when he gets it, he falls over because guess what the defender does? I think they just kind of they back off of him. It may not be that exaggerated, but they back off of it, and he just falls over. And that's what you see that in basketball. Somebody really wants to get in there and get in. They want contact so they can roll off of it. You step back, they fall over, they lose their balance. It happens in every sport. He's looking for contact, and guess what? They're smarter in the Premier League because they know. Think about it. If you had to do that against Haaland, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
What do you don't do that?
I think that is the best description of what is happening that anyone has furnished so far that I've seen. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right that these defenders are outthinking him a little bit. But my concern comes from what you said, which is that he's looking for contact so he can fall over. Could you stop doing that and just look at the ball and look at the goal and shoot? Yeah. Because if you're not thinking, how do I score from here? If you're thinking, how do I get a penalty from here? Then I don't need a world-class striker doing that.
Yep. Yeah. If that's what he's doing, yeah. I feel like the key, the number one thing should be the ball is like, that is my life. The ball comes into the box, right? The ball comes into me. I have to hold on. That ball is my baby. I am not letting that ball get away from me. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's got that mindset, at least the way he looks, because the ball shouldn't just bounce off of him that easy, many times consistently. Like at some point, you're like, no, I have to hold on to this ball. I've got runners coming, but I guess what? I can't pass it to him because the ball is like 5 feet away from me now, and they're making their runs. And you know what? I can't make that quick turn and pass it because I've lost the ball already. And it's like at some point, he has to do better at that. I think if he's making runs,
where he's running in off the left and the defender catches him. There's the falling over. There's I want to just cut because a couple of like rude one star. I always box fresh man. And Boytendia both talking about. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying Saka on the left wing, which is good. Almost as in Prem games and Odegaard in Champions League. Yeah, that could work. I think there are going to be games that suit one better than the other. Cunha, Mason, Zirkzee, sorry. Let's try and get the attack make changes. Man United. But look, Colin Modric, 1K. Odegaard was unlucky not to get an assist. I really think that. I really do think he was unlucky. I think it was a great ball onto the head. You can't really compare Gyökeres with Haaland, but I know just how bad Kai Havertz is with his head, and I'm not sure I've ever seen I think Jesus has scored with his head, which is incredible. But we're not a team that really scores headers, are we? But he did put a beautiful cross in and put a bit more of a header, or somebody who knows how to head the ball. Could be an assist from there.
Not who
Preferred
plays.
lineup-
Not who doesn't play on the back line. Let's just say that.
The trouble with that cross is if it's a little bit too high, he can't jump higher than he can normally jump, can he?
If what's that high?
The crossing from Odegaard.
No, it was on his head. It was perfect, landed on his head. He didn't have to jump at all. In fact, I don't think he does jump.
I don't know. I have to look at it again. I thought he had to jump, but he.
Nah, it was like it comes off his head and gets some elevation. I mean, he just doesn't head it in the right direction. And yeah, we didn't buy him for his heading prowess. I think 2 goals out of the 96 he scored are headers. He's already scored a header for us, which is already impressive. But look, I just feel like it's a weird situation. Oh, but look, this is being an Arsenal fan. Being a fan of any club is partisan. There's players you like and players you don't like. Gyökeres, because so many people danced around so much so that we'd sign him, they're committed to supporting him even when he's clearly not doing that well. With Kai Havertz, no one wanted him at the club, so the minute he's not doing well, everyone jumps on him. And I feel like we never had a conversation about changing our entire style of play to suit Kai Havertz. We'd never do that for Gabby Jesus. But with Gyökeres last week, the talk was we're going to have to figure out how to find him because we've bought a 9 and we need to find him. It's like, well, we've bought... And then people were saying Kai Havertz is a midfielder. And you go, we moved him to midfield. But like his career was always as a forward. He played as a forward for Chelsea. He played as a forward in Germany. He was not bought as a... He's a Raumdeuter. He's that Thomas Müller character where you can't really tell him where to be. He's got to figure it out for himself, and wherever there's space, he'll interpret it. But we never have conversations about changing the entire lineup for one player. And I don't think that's an Arteta thing that he'll do. I think we talked about the preferred lineups for the cup game already. You guys did, didn't you? Where did we get to?
Just got the front line.
Well, you don't really have to
Front four.
talk about the back four, do you? Because we can't change anyone unless you're going to bring in Marley Salmon for a quarter.
So the front four is the only place where I want to see a change. So
So Odegaard or Eze?
Eze for me.
Yeah.
Me too, I think. I just want to see Eze play in the flesh. And
What about Norgard for Rice?
Yeah, I think, and I get shot down for it. I'd have Rice on the bench for this one, only because I've watched him against Wolves and watched him against Everton, and he's not at his best. I don't know. Maybe
We should be able to play Norgard. We should be able to play Norgard.
Yeah, I mean,
guess
Crystal
what?
Palace are in
We
shit
should
form,
be
like-
able to play Norgard. I just don't know what else to say. He should be able to play. He should be able to play for us.
Norgard's not some bloke that worked in the canteen. He was a captain at Brentford. Do you know what I mean? It's like people are going a little bit radio about this. They're going, yeah, we can't play Norgard. You go, he finished 10th in the league playing for someone else and was consistently in the team. He's not a dummy. He speaks the language. I mean, I think Norgard, listen, it's not my choice to play him over Rice if it's an important game. But I agree exactly with what you're saying there, which is Crystal Palace are in no kind of form. We should be able at home to play Norgard and have him do a job. And if he can't, then we should be able to bring Rice on. But I'd rather not start Rice in every game and leave him on for the full 90 minutes. And I don't think that's a controversial idea. A lot of the Gluminati say that every single day. He's ruined Saka. And
they said the same thing again about Mascara. They said the same thing about Kiwior, right? And we've seen how that's played out. Their first games, we didn't we didn't have a chance to think about it. That's the problem. Norgard, we've had a long time to think about him not playing, right? And that for me is indicative of Arteta's confidence and trust in him already, because he hasn't played him. Because he will play if there's any issue with Rice, he's not running to get Norgard in the pitch, right?
No.
5 minutes into a game, Mascara's on the pitch in Anfield, and you know what? Hasn't missed a beat since, right?
Well, injured, obviously.
No, but I mean, his play hasn't been we're concerned about it anymore.
I don't know. I think in the years where Emil Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira were on the bench, Reece Nelson would never get in a game. It was quite obvious that Arteta didn't trust them. we're starting to see patterns like that evolve around Wanyeri and Norgod, and people I think are jumping to that conclusion. It may just be that he doesn't play them yet, but at the end of the season, we might find that they get 500 to 1,000 minutes, which is a good time for a squad player. As it stands, it's hard to know why Norgod. I could not agree more with you, Gary. It should be possible for us to beat Palace with Norgard in midfield. They're a good midfield side, Palace, and they can hurt you. But we should have enough about us on that pitch to keep them from doing us damage. And anyone who just wants to see the same 11 over and over again is asking for trouble, because by March there is no Saka, Saliba, Rice, and now you're playing Norgard potentially in Champions League quarterfinals, and you're wishing you had fitter players. Boy Tendia says, "Oh dear, it's time to talk Gyok," and then says, "I plead the fifth." I think it's all right to give Gyökeres a season and see how he does, and not expect too much.
He's in he's got. I looked at the stats. There's 2 players in double figures. There's a bunch at 7, a bunch at 6, and then a bunch at 5. He's in a bunch of 5 right now. Which is
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League. So he's not that bad. For as bad as they think he's playing, he's not that bad.
No,
There's not that many players scoring more goals than him.
I said this, and I said, before last weekend's games where Ekitike scored a brace, but I said Ekitike on fire, stunning the world, sensational acquisition. Cost a lot more than Victor Gyökeres, but you really see where the money's going with that 5-goal haul. Meanwhile, Gyökeres, abject disappointment, total waste of money with only 4. And you go, that's what we're talking about. Like, we're talking about a goal more for Ekitike. It's a little bit more daylight in between them now. But I don't think we're in flop territory. I've definitely seen worse players for Arsenal, but I think, Boxfresh says here, agree, he should have made that his goal. Take everything, including the push, and have the shot somehow. That's how I see it, anyway. I remember in the summer that the talk that Gyökeres could play off the left. He kind of scored most of his goals off the left, but I don't think you'd ever play him off the left. He needs to have space to run into.
I know when he played against us last year, he was playing on the left-hand side, because he had that one run against Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah.
And actually hit the post, didn't he?
Wasn't that when Gabriel had gone off and Kivior had come on, though? Or was it?
Or it could have been Kivior then.
Yeah, I mean, he did have the one. They did pocket him. He had the great game against City, but it was a time period where it seems like everyone was having a great game against City, and everyone's forgotten that City's only last season's City. It's not. Moss says, with you, Dan, all the Sesko haters and Woodies that worried VG had said he's so strong, make his own goals. Premier League's different gravy. Yeah, that does seem like the obvious reason why he's not doing as well as everyone expected, because he's scored 96 goals in Portugal. Yeah, but it's not that different. Okay. It's a bit different, though.
I don't know who said that, but that sounds a little crazy.
That Victor Gyökeres was going to make his own.
No, that playing in Portugal translate very easily.
No, they didn't. But there is transfer. I know the companies like StatDNA and the football analysis statistics. I forget what they call it but they have formulas to work out the coefficient of what a goal in the Premier League is worth. 1.5 goals in Germany, 1.9 goals. And using that metric, you'd still have him on about 20 goals a season. But I don't think it would be his first season anyway. And look, it's a squad game. I think a lot of the discussions I hear are rooted in this idea of a first 11 and, one player's got to score a shitload of goals. We scored 90 goals a couple of seasons ago. I don't remember who scored what percentage of them or where from. I don't care. If you can get 90 goals, 2.5 goals a game, I don't give a shit. As long as you don't score 80 in one game, it'll be good. I mean, I think we're all interpreting the maths a little bit like prehistoric man interpreted cloud formations into, data is a very complicated thing to analyze, and on its own, it very rarely tells a full story. You can't recreate a football match from data. But what you can say is you can look at Gyökeres, watch him and think something's not quite right there, and then come to the idea that he is yet to find the pace and physicality of this league. And that, despite the fact he's played in England before, he hasn't played in the Premier League. And I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a little time to work it out. Of course, you've got people going, oh, Voltemada didn't need time to work it out. Well, he seems to need it now. You know, it was a great finish against Chelsea, but like his own goal against Sunderland, how many goals has Voltemada scored? I mean, when players come to the league, when Salah came to the Premier League, he died at Chelsea. There are so many things that go into it that I think people overlook because it doesn't meet their narrative. I'm happy we have Victor Gyökeres. I'm glad we didn't get Šeško. I thought Šeško was a better footballer, but I think personality-wise, we've got the right guy. He is 27 years old. There's no point pretending we're going to teach him technique. But if he can get his attitude right, his confidence up, and his and he is more determined not to fall down than he seems to be, there's a player in there. He's not a dud. And Ruud Lonsau says, again, about the coming in off the left, Mosnes Dan requires some third person Moss stuff. Fair play.
You said something that Gyökeres needs to figure out the speed and I think the speed and the strength of the league. Sometimes I look at Arsenal as a whole and I think in the attack we need to also think that way, because sometimes we seem to be like, maybe I'll make this pass, and it's like, no, you can't think. Either you're making a pass or you're not. Because when we're countering, I'm like, what are we waiting for? Like, let's not settle and let the defense settle. Let's just go. Like, teams don't, like, when you watch, like, you sit in a game, you're playing defense and you see them counter, they don't like just slow down and kind of move up the pitch. No, they just go, and everybody knows that they're going, so they go with them, and that's when sometimes we get caught out, right? For us, it seems like we're just like, well, we got to wait for the defense to settle. You know?
Do you think that's like? I think I really agree with that. By the way, there's a couple of areas where I think that's evident. There's the movement together, but there's also one touch, stand on the ball, look for the right pass, and then that pass is gone. There aren't players there isn't enough one touch play. When we do it, we're really good at it, and we create space and we open teams up. When we're not doing it, it feels like there's a tiredness, a mental tiredness. I can't remember who it was, but he was analysing, I forced myself to watch the Wolves game again, and it wasn't as bad as I'd remembered it the first time around, because you take the emotion away and go, look, we did control this game and we did score when we needed to. But he was saying it's a little bit like you just watch, and sometimes, when you go to work, sometimes whatever you're doing, whether it's you're having a game of whatever you're playing or doing, there are just days where you're just a bit behind yourself. You're not quite where you need to be, and you just want it over and done with, and you want to get home and forget about it. I don't know. Maybe you could be, you could say, look, Arteta's job is to get them 100% focused and fired up. In that speech by Al Pacino, we fight for every inch. That's what you kind of want to be happening in a dressing room. I don't know if it is, obviously. And we've got it right for the big games. We come out all guns blazing against Bayern, Atletico, against Tottenham. We come out, we show it. We did against Aston Villa and just got unlucky at the end because we foolish in how we were defending. But to your point, there are times where it just feels like we don't have the players with the pictures of what they're going to do next. So they get the ball, and now Martinelli's a classic example. I've got the ball. I'm going to run over there, and then I'm going to decide what to do. It's like
I just want him when he gets that ball. You know what? If you don't think anybody's going to be there, I don't care. Go to the goal. Go to the goal. You know what?
Forrest.
I'd rather him just miss a shot on goal than like you said, whatever he's doing now, which is I'm just going to run, and I'm not going to run towards the goal. I'm not going to run towards the post. So I'm just going to get in no man's land. And next thing you know, I run out of space and I just run out of bounds. Yeah. It's like, no. If you put your head down, you're going to the goal. They're going to have to bring you down. Yeah. They're going to have to bring you down.
The difference between Mark Overmars and Martinelli is so massive. I think they're about as fast as each other. But Mark Overmars picks a ball up and is like, right, this is what I'm going to do. And it's built on where all the other players are, how he can get to the goal in the quickest time. And with Martinelli, it's always like, Martinelli have ball. Martinelli reach white line. Oops, Martinelli over white line. Martinelli, put hand up, apologise, run back. You know, it's a lot of that. And then people always say, oh, we don't pass to the left enough. And you go, look, if I'm Eze or Odegaard and I'm going, I can put it to Saka or I can put it. I'm not going to finish that sentence, am I?
You don't even need to go anymore. You've said
Do you
it
know
now.
what? Like, and you see the same thing with Trossard out there. And I was disappointed because I thought this was a game for Trossard. And I'd probably be talking about it as like how it was a game for Trossard if only that post had been a little further to the right. It was a great. I mean, I found myself actually angry with Trossard when he elected to curl it because I thought the percentage play there was to hit it low and across the ground into the. But who am I to tell a finisher of the?
I mean, he hit the
quality of
post, so it wasn't like he was that far off,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
but
you look
find
at it and you're like, if he goes, he could have gone maybe even near post and catch the goalkeeper before he even thought about it. But he went for what he thought was best, and he's not usually off. He's not off. He wasn't off bad. It wasn't like a bad shot. Like
No.
that was a terrible shot. It hits the post. That means it was definitely on its way. But a little fraction of an inch here, and it bounces in probably.
It is easy to be the kind of person who says, "Oh, he should have nutmeg the keeper," or something that I could never do. I realised that's what I was doing, but it just felt like in a game of small margins, you just want to play the percentage, because if you put it low and the keeper can dive to it and he palms it out, maybe that gives Saka time to come in. Or when you hit the post, like, I don't know. I think reality is what you said is true. It's like, it can't have been a bad decision if he's hit the post. That's as close as you get to being a goal without being a goal. So he's obviously done something right. Saka and either Martinelli or Madueke on right wing. Boyd and Dia, they will beat all defenders down the wing. So when they either have to either foul or always take great steps up from this whole thing about Saka on the left wing, we have seen it now, haven't we? There have been games where we've seen Saka move out to left, not for the whole game maybe, but he has been out there. I'd like to think Declan Rice could start taking corners from both sides of the pitch, because I think teams have started putting them into the Saka territory. Do you know what I mean? Mm. Like, when we take Saka's corners are not as good as Declan Rice's. Can't Declan Rice just practice taking them? I don't know.
Well, you know what? We used to Saka. You know what it is? Okay? See, this is the thing. Saka used to get a lot of assists from his corners, and then people complained about it. Now, they complained about, well, he's getting all these assists, but they're from corners. It's like that's supposed to be good, right? No, it's not good. It's not good.
You can't like, if I go back to when I was going to football matches at Highbury before the Wenger era, and even just to the early George Graham era, I could never have imagined in that period, before we were invincible, before we were the most attractive team in Europe or everything like that, before we were successful, I could never have imagined that people would have us be top of the league but complain that too many of the goals came from set pieces. Have players of the value of Saka and complain that they're taking too many goals. This is all just new to me, and I'm adjusting. I'm kind of at the point now where I refuse to adjust to this modern fandom. I'm like, if you're not happy when we're top of the league, there are going to be so few times in your life you're ever happy. Maybe keep it to yourself. Maybe if you're that sad and angry and disgusted and it's a disgrace, keep your mouth shut. You're sharing misery. I can only imagine what it would be like if I don't think this happens, by the way, but on the coaches that come back from the games like Everton, it's a good 3 or 4 hours back to London, right? And you've just won. It wasn't a game that you loved, but you've won. You've sung some songs. You've had a laugh. You're with your friends, and you sat on the coach next to somebody you don't normally sit to, and they go, "It's shit. Everything's shit. It's shit." And I don't know, but the next fucking time we stop at a services, I don't think that guy gets back on the bus. I'm not saying do something violent. I think you just be like, just drive on without him, mate. Just let him walk home, because what do you get out of constantly slagging off your team? This man's an idiot. I heard you the first 1,000 times. If you've got nothing else to say, we're top of the league. We can't. He's shit. The manager's shit. This squad's shit. Right. Well, we're doing quite well for a shit squad and a shit manager. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, well, I watched the show today, and that's basically the message from the Arsenal fan is like, you said Arteta is terrible. You said the only good players we have are probably Rice and maybe Gabriel and Saliba. and Zumendi maybe. So, but we're sitting at the top of the table. So what does that make everybody else?
Yeah.
We're not
I
that
said
good.
this.
You just said,
I said
and you're
this
not
last
expecting
week.
us to win anyway. So then why are you complaining that we might lose? Why are you like making a point that we might lose the league if you don't think we're that good anyways?
These pricks, and I'm not going to name them, but you know who they are. That was saying at the start of the season, this isn't going to be a title season. This will be a top 4 season. You know, Liverpool are too good for us, Man City are too good for us, and Chelsea are coming there. This will be in a top 4 battle. And now, halfway through the season, okay, like we haven't won anything, but you go, were you maybe a little bit wrong about how badly we would do? You know, because I thought we'd do badly as well, but I didn't tub thump about it because I don't really want it to be true. But now that we're number 1 at Christmas, the narrative has gone from we're going to be in a top 4 battle to but you don't win anything for being number 1 at Christmas. You go, no, you don't. What's your next thing to be pissed off about? Well, the injuries that Arteta's giving these players, right? But other managers get injuries as well. Looks like Isak might have broken his leg.
Yep. Yeah, he said he's broken leg. Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I've heard Achilles. I've heard ACL. So
I just want to say, not because I don't feel the threat of Liverpool, but because you don't ever want to see. I like Isak. I've always liked him as a player. I have a huge amount of respect for him. I hope it's not as serious as it sounds. That's awful. No one wants to see that. But people are just doing too much. They can't get everything. Has to support their narrative. You know, you win a game. I mean, the one that gets me is when you win a game like the Atletico Madrid game 4-0. And I know we're going back a little bit now, but that game was such a great game. Totally unexpected that we beat them so handsomely, right? No one saw that coming, did they? And then at a point where you literally think, right, I can go on some of these Gluminati channels now because even they're going to be like, fuck, that was good. Wow, this is a great day to be a Gooner. And then they're out there going, do you know what's ruined it for me? And you think, just the notion of that is so bizarre to me. What, you've just beaten Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, a manager that everyone but me seems to want at Arsenal. We've just turned him over, thrashed him, and Christian said we've got the best team in Europe, and that's taken the shine off a 4-0 win over Atletico Madrid. And goes, well, it seems to me like it's a bit easy to upset you. I don't think I could give a flying fuck what anyone says if we've just beaten Bayern Munich 3-1 or Atletico Madrid 4-0 or Tottenham 4-1. Oh, yeah, but some bloke standing next to me got a little bit above themselves and said we're really too good and that's taking a gloss figure. Well, don't come to the parades then, because you'll see loads of people saying we're the best team in Europe, and that's going to ruin your day. Don't let that ruin your day. It just feels like if you've decided you're going to be pissed off, and look, I know a little bit about that. I've had some dark moods where everyone's happy around me and I've gone, well, fucking, you know, and that's my childlike state coming through, my underdeveloped ego, you know. The things that you know as a grown-up, like if everyone's happy, you should just let them be happy. But I said we'd be shit and now I look stupid is more important to you. So you just get angry and you go, these idiots, why are they saying we're the best team in Europe? Because the thing we say, we're fans, it's called banter. Do you know what I mean? He thinks we're the best team in Europe. And then when some of these extra happy, positive fans were saying, oh, we've got the best squad in the world, that doesn't piss me off. I don't necessarily know. I would rather wait till we win the Champions League before I say we've got the best squad in Europe, because I think that's the point of trophies. But they are going to just be upset with whatever happens. So we win against Wolves, and they actually over and over, like Jez was saying, that's why we lost to Wolves. And you go, nope, we didn't. Yeah, well, it took them. They scored all the goals, so we really lost. You go, nope. No, we still won the game. I'm first to say it was a disappointing match. But anyway, Moss's, I've had it up there for a while. That's Moss's lineup. Kepa, I'd be surprised.
And I think Saka, I don't think Jesus can start for us just yet. I think that might be rushing it for me. And Saka, I don't think. I think he can take the game off. He doesn't have to take the game off, but he doesn't have to start this one. You know what I mean?
I think you're right about Jesus not starting. I think he'll play Gyökeres because he wants him to get some goals. You know, he just wants him to get. If part of his problem at the moment is confidence, and you can only really play it out. I don't have an opinion yet on the squad, so I don't know. But I like that. I would be happy with that, Moss. Sesko haters are the ones attacking Arteta for Gyok not being able to hold the ball up in 2025 football. Do you know what it is? Like, I said this before either of them had signed for Man United or Arsenal. I said, if we sign the Šeško and he doesn't hit the ground running, everyone will say we should have signed Gyökeres. If we sign Gyökeres and he hits the ground running, they'll all say we were right. If we sign Gyökeres and he doesn't perform, they'll all blame Arteta. And it's just easy. You can see what's going to happen. Is it raining tomorrow? Yeah, Arteta's full.
Yeah.
Arteta must change everything for Gyok, don't you know? I think there's a case.
I have this. My dream scenario is Jesus is around towards the end of the season when we need something different, and he's like back into form, and he helps us get across the line, whichever one of the 4 lines we're gonna cross, and then he can go on his way. But that's kind of my dream for him because he's had it kind of rough injury wise. Be nice to see him go out on
an understatement. What other superpowers you got? Fucking hell! Like, do you know what I mean? I want Kai Havertz to score the winner in the Champions League and be like,
that would be funny. That'd be funny.
Amazing. So look at this though. We've got a special late guest, and it's Anthony Weers, big arms, dipped
Hello,
in
sir.
sherbet, Herbert, blue Savannah eyes, Earth, Ernie Vader, Gert Lush, and he says, "Oi, Razor, just got home. You want some? I think I do. You know, let's have some." Truss is a lot of goal. Looking at him, didn't need to curl. That's how I felt, Moss. That is how I felt.
But Trossard scored loads of goals like that.
No, yeah, you're right. Look,
Yeah.
I've been fairly. I think I can't be any more honest than saying I'm happy to. It's an emotional reaction when a goal doesn't go in. You go, "Oh, you fucking idiot!" You don't mean it. What you actually mean is, do you know what? You do things on the football I could never dream of doing. You've got 2 fantastic feet, an eye for goal, and you've made it to the pinnacle of your, the Premier League. So obviously, but when and Gary made the point, I thought really effectively. He hit the post. It's not like it went off for a throw in. You know, like it isn't a bad decision he made. But allow me my upset at the moment. Anthony's had his work Christmas due. I hope they didn't put you in a cement mixer. Unlucky, killed my Moss parlay. Martinelli has become too comfortable at a young age at Arsenal.
I don't think so, because I don't think he doesn't start for us if Trossard's healthy.
Well, he did
So, I
start
don't
against
think he-
Wolves.
No, I don't. I don't.
But you didn't think he was healthy?
I don't
Okay,
think
no.
Trossard was ready to come in.
No,
So Arteta, it's weird. Sometimes Arteta will. It seems, or at least the Arsenal. Let's not say Arteta. Sometimes Arsenal, some players come right back in, and then some players they seem to get worked back in.
Yeah.
Like if you notice, Gyökeres got worked back in. He came in, he played like 8 minutes, 13, 45, and then he started. Right?
Why is that as well? Is that because I mean, like, I think if Marino had really seized his opportunity with both hands as a forward, the problem with Marino playing in that 9 position, which I don't think he does anyway, is that he's always one of the furthest players back. He's level with Declan Rice most of the time. So you could say he's playing striker, or you could say he's forgetting to play striker. Gyökeres was doing the same thing, at least in that Everton game, as I showed on the heat map. He's further up. You're right, though. There are some, and the Gluminati always talk about Arteta's favourites. Well, which football manager doesn't have favourites? You know, it's like saying, "Oh, fucking Pep Guardiola always picks Rodri, doesn't he?" You go, "Yes, yes, he does."
No.
I would too. I played Football Manager.
Yeah. As much as I didn't like Xhaka and how much he loved Xhaka, the one thing that nobody could say is that whatever Arteta asked Xhaka to do, it's like whatever he tells Rice to do, he will do. Whatever he tells Xhaka to do, he will do. And you know what? And he'll do it 100%. It might not be the perfect situation, but he'll do it 100%. And you know what? He can't get that from every player. Because not every player does that.
You won't get that from Trossard. You know, you won't and he probably gets it from Arteta. Probably overvalues the preppy kind of yes, sir. I think really great managers get to a point in their career where they have 1 or 2 people. Alex Ferguson wasn't treating Eric Cantona like that. No. Cantona was like, "For this game, I think I want to follow the trawler." You do what you fucking like, mate. Just when you do score one of those worldy kicks, just make sure you're wearing a Man United top. I'm going to put my collar up. Yeah. I'm going to play with my ass hanging out. Yeah, do what you want, mate. Just literally just get me the 3 points. We can chat about everything else. This is a lovely message from Anthony. Dan, I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All the best, my friend. And to you, everyone you know and love. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and a great New Year. And thank you and hello, Gary. Bye, Gary, of course.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, it's a T-shirt.
I should make one.
You've
just
got
for this
to.
dinner. Yeah.
You go. Arteta might be an idiot, but he has turned around historic Emirates era bogey teams for us like Bayern. I don't know. You know,
he got lucky in the Bayern game. He got lucky in the Atletico Madrid game. Got lucky in the Newcastle game. Got lucky in the North London derby. I mean, just luck. I mean,
got
it's
lucky
all luck.
away to Newcastle. Got lucky away to Man United. Lucky prick. You know, it's like those games when we were breaking records, 5-0, 6-0, emptying stadiums like fire drills. You know, he's lucky. It's pure luck. I would hire that guy. If you said to me, Dan, you can hire the talented, intelligent one who never sells anything, or you can hire the fucking idiot who doesn't know which way round his pen works, but he sells loads because he's lucky. And I'm going to take me a little bit of the lucky guy. Lucky beats any... But then I like the Gary Player quote, which is, you know what it is the harder I train, the luckier I get. I play poker for a living.
You create your own. You do create your own opportunities. The harder you work, for sure.
You do,
for sure.
Absolutely. And the harder you work on the opportunities, the more. I like. There's lots of things I like. I like Ian Wright's autobiography where he's talking about my job is taking shots. I want him to talk to Victor Gyökeres now. Just go look. Just keep taking shots. Don't feel anything but eyes on goal. Shoot at goal.
He can talk to He can talk to Henri. They all have that crazy mindset. He doesn't have to take all of it. He takes a little sprinkle of this, a little sprinkle of that, right? He'll be fine. You know, and then if he wants to go talk to Bergkamp about a little bit there, but get something, you can get something from those guys. You know, the football back then, the football now, it isn't the same for sure. But there are things you can take from what they've done.
Thierry Henry would still be top scorer in this Premier League. I don't give a shit. Ian Wright would still be one of the top scorers in this Premier League. And I looked at John Terry talking about would he rather be a player nowadays, and he's like, fuck yeah. He goes, wherever we used to play, even if you're playing a shit team, like even playing Newcastle, you still got Alan Shearer up front. Every team had a great striker up front. Yeah, you play Kevin Davies at Blackburn or Southampton. You're just like, they're a good. Nowadays, he goes like, yeah, I mean, I could go do that. He'd have Gyökeres on toast probably. No one can fathom Bayern scoring 5 on us nowadays. Exactly. Landlord, Malt Licky, Texas, and you do get some philosophical content from Texas that says if you live long enough, you'll see everything at least once. I'm not going to live that long that I see Spurs win a trophy that means something. But I think if I could make it, I don't know if that's true actually, because I think long before Tottenham win meaningful silverware, they'll just go like football's boring now. Let's do something else. It'll all be.
I think it'd be really difficult for me to live long enough to see a skeleton come out the ground and come running towards me.
Well, this is useful because it's the law of entropy doesn't apply in infinite time. So if you put an apple in a sealed box with an infinite amount of time, not only will the apple decompose, but it will recompose into a fully formed apple and a spaceship and a hand. It's just infinity makes all this nonsense. So when he says if you live long enough, it's a product of understanding of physics that yes, you will see everything at least once, but you will also see it infinitely often. Who'd want that anyway? Razor, I'm not a prick, lol. Who said you were a prick? What was he? What have you put in his cider?
I don't know, mate, because I use it to clean the cellar floor, so I don't know what he's been having.
More Leaky Texas goes, let's not insult pricks. Harsh, but funny. That's what we want. Keep those coming. Isak's injury seemed more MCL than ACL. Listen, I don't know. I just heard that Ornstein said it was a broken leg. I didn't hear him say it. He might not have said it. You know what football's like, but how's your luck, man? Am I the only mod in the chat? Razor, keep this between us. Lightweight, all of them, lol. I don't know what mod is. Rosie, should I? No, Melina's here. Look, there's 2 mods, thank God. How does anyone? Should I be making people mods? Do you want to be mods? What difference does it make? I got on Deluded's page and he made me a mod, and I was like, "Oh, do I have to do something now? I don't really know what that means." The fact that we're relying on a guy, Gabriel Jesus, with 2 dodgy knees to lead us to win trophies is depressing. I don't think we are we?
No, well, some people say that, you know what, because Gyökeres is struggling, Jesus coming back is probably a godsend,
No,
essentially.
but I think that misses the whole. That would be like if we were desperate and we didn't know what to do. But Jesus has played 105 minutes or something, and we're top of the table at Christmas. I don't think we've relied on him. I think we're just relying on what we've done so far happening in the second part of the season. If we do beat Brighton at home, say we get 4 points from the next 2 fixtures, Villa and Brighton at home, which I don't think is extreme. I hope we do get 4 points. Then we will finish the half of the season, the first half of the season, on 43 points. Which, if you extrapolate that, puts us on 86 points, which is not far off where I think the title will be decided on 89 or 90 points. So we're just asking them to do the same as they've done in the first half of the season, but given we've played 4 of our 5 hardest games, maybe do a tiny bit better, like win a game and then we're there. So I don't think anyone's relying on a guy with 2 dodgy knees to lead.
I don't know if he means relying on him right now. I mean relying on him to come into the team, to the squad, get more minutes,
then I would
and then
question why the term relying isn't the term there. It's hoping.
No, I know, but like what you're saying, the fact he's only played 100 minutes can't be. We're not necessarily relying, but I think people think that the fact that he's getting healthy is a good thing, because Gyökeres is terrible in some people's eyes.
No,
so
I don't know if Victor Gyökeres is terrible.
Maybe I'm embellishing the words a little bit, but you know what I mean.
But they're saying because Gyökeres is a flop, but then there's Kai Havertz. The season we scored 90 goals, we didn't have either. So I think
that's why I kind of find it ridiculous. I'm like, we are better with our attack, so something else is going on where we don't seem to score enough goals as many people think we should.
But then I think there's another element here. I think that very pragmatically, the team are looking at games and just getting 3 points. They're not looking to break records. They're not looking to roll over teams. They're just getting the 3 points and moving on, because they know that there's this is a long season yet to go. Yeah. And there's many a slip twixt cup and lip, and there's lots that can go wrong very quickly. We're grinding out results at this point, where once we were turning teams over and dominating them, gone is the talk of emulating Chelsea's 15-goal season. That I must admit, I was in that conversation. We've lost Gabby Jesus and Saliba, and I think that most teams would have dropped more points than we've dropped without them. This is a team game. We now have players,
you meant Gabby Margalez, right?
Magalhaes, yeah, and Magalhaes and Saliba out. We've had to rely on Mosquera and Hincapié. Now Mosquera's out. We've had Timber as a centre back, which is not a position. We've had some changes to make.
Norgard even had to moonlight as a centre back. That's how desperate we are.
Didn't look bad either, did he? Didn't look bad either. Like, honestly,
you know what? Arteta can take anybody, put him in our defense, and we'll be fine. He's done it.
Well, I'm at the ground on Tuesday, so I'm happy.
You know what? If he needs, he might call on you. So just remember to bring your boots.
They better have a top in my size, because I don't think they make them.
Well, they're sort of lycra, aren't they?
That'd be the best to see you come out there with like Saka's top on, and you have your gut hanging out the bottom of it, and it's like, no, I don't think that guy can move.
What's he wearing? It feels like he's tied into that.
He's got like a tank. He's got one of those little short tank top things on.
The only other option is, when you were kids and used to play shirts versus skins. That's the only other option.
Yeah.
63,000 people going, oh, I'll give him a jumper.
But they say, Dan, we haven't got a shirt big enough for you, so we'll paint one on.
Two. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
They get the missus to sew panels in the side, wouldn't they? Oh. Can I use your curtains, Gary?
Oh my gosh! It looks like they took 2 tops and created the one for him. What is going on here?
Why has he got 2 sets of numbers on his top? Why has he got 2 names on his back? It doesn't make any sense. No, I don't think he quite put anyone in the back. I don't think, For example, Aiden Heaven couldn't get in the back.
No, that's true.
Peel,
Well, you know, Salmon can. So you know, we don't need Heaven. We got salmon. I like salmon anyways.
I do as well. I was thinking of having salmon at Christmas.
Yes.
Miss Melina says, Merry Christmas. Anthony says, I was the only one standing. Razor, some builders haven't got the strength as we is. The grammar guys, come on. I know you're pissed, but it's because we don't see the training and fitness tests, etc. It's all about coming back from injuries. Yeah. I am acutely aware of all of the opinions people have over our injuries and stuff aren't based on actual data. They're based on just what you think makes sense. You know, he's rushing all these players back from injury. I'm sure there's a medical team. They're not sitting in a back room playing canasta go, yeah, you can play him if you want to. Yeah. Scans, shit, fucking, yeah. The scans look great. You know, it's all fine. Don't worry about it. Gary from Don't Waste a Trip is the only Gary I like. Boss Gary hasn't got a clue about football. He's a prick.
Yeah, isn't it like a Gary who talks about football, and I don't like him either.
Gary Lineker?
No. And there's another one, isn't there?
Gary Neuville, the German.
Oh, is it?
The one that was a Spanish manager that got beaten 7-1 or something by Barcelona. I'd like to do that. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It's always better to be lucky than good.
I have a feeling that Miss Melina has been watching Brokeback Mountain from that comment.
Cowboys suck. No, I think American football. I just don't have the time to watch it. But I think if I was retired, I would. But it's just the games are too long. Do you know what I mean? A 90-minute game of football I can get through. Man, during
Gary Neville is who I was thinking of. So
I thought you were joking. I thought that's what you. I thought you.
I know. I actually had a Gary in mind when I said it. So.
I've got to hear me out. Oh, you know when you say something you know it's going to make you really unpopular, and you say it anyway. Well, maybe you don't, but I do. I actually respect Gary Neville.
Mm.
Where's everyone gone? Where the fuck did everyone go? It's like that, just like that. Fucking hell. We are winding down now because it's 3 hours 15 that I've enjoyed every minute of. I agree with Gary here. I think it's impressive Arteta isn't getting any goals at all from Gyok. Oops. I got back not speaking. Gyökeres is poor. It was only a pen. I just wish he had more goals. I do as well. I wish he'd score a goal from the halfway line. Here's the goal I want Victor Gyökeres to score. That will make me rethink everything I've ever thought about him. And by the way, I like him and I'm glad he's an Arsenal player. I want him to lob the ball up from the centre circle towards the goal and run and head it in as it lands. That's what I want to see. That's what I want for Christmas. Time to start rolling from Herbert. Winter time, sweeping darkness time for striking Victor. Norgard looks like a centre-back. Hincapié was awesome signing out, always so good. Ecuador impressive, and Leverkusen defense. Moss, you watch a lot of football. Have you seen him for Ecuador as well? Look at this, Anthony. You absolute diamond. Thank you, sir. Thank you, genuinely. You know what? It isn't free running an online pub, but you guys share the cost, and I really appreciate you. Zanzi broke back Mountain Law. It was a good one, that one. That sounds. Yeah, that was funny. So, it is the time of evening where Miss Melina has wished us all a Merry Christmas. Love
Happy
it.
holidays to everyone.
Get Miss Melina up here over the holidays, you know? I finish work on Tuesday lunchtime. I go straight to London, watch the match. I'm back on the 24th. And then I'm just pootling around the house until the 5th of January. I've got time to just jump on, do live streams, all of that. I want to see lots of you. Hopefully we'll get a lot of those going. When I see you, all I see is a big chunk of love. Ah! I'm just a hunger burning love.
Oh,
something hit the desk there. Or something popped up there. Sorry, everyone. As a Texan, to say Cowboys suck is heresy. Well, how do they eat ice lollies then? Texans are a little bit. I don't think Texas is a progressive state, is it? I don't know. Is it?
I don't know all these big words.
Moscuna says, yeah, Ecuador, really lovely national team. You see the superstar twins we just signed from there. I could do a whole show about it. I want to hear all about it. I don't know. But before we do that, we do have to wrap up this evening. And so, Gary,
Yes, sir.
I offer you an opportunity to speak to those remaining in the chat. And
Everybody, thank you for joining us. Enjoy coming on, chatting with Dan and Zanzi and you guys about this thing called football and anything else we want to talk about. Can I plug my show?
please, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
so
I think everyone
usually-
here will,
Yeah, usually I do my show on Mondays, but because it's the holidays and because we have a game and because it's my last day of work, I'm gonna do the show on Tuesday
you
after.
didn't do it on my, yeah, you caught me out.
I did on
'cause-
Tuesday because I had it was it was my daughter's birthday, and then she was coming in, and her flight got delayed, and so it was a whole thing. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not gonna do anything. Do as much as I can, and I stayed home, and I didn't push my show out to Tuesday. Kind of doing the same thing again, get close to the holidays and stuff. So yeah,
So what time on a Tuesday? You doing the 12:30?
yeah. So the late show. I don't know if it's.
I'm not doing the Tuesday club this week, so I was going to say like that works out. I won't be able to. I might be back indoors after. We're going on a bit of a pub crawl after the match.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but definitely, if you haven't already, please do check out Don't Waste the Trip, and a Saturday show. You still doing? I
Should
dropped
do
in on
that.
Yeah.
It sounded like it put
But it was Tom
uh,
and Spencer this Saturday. It wasn't like you
yeah,
weren't there.
right. Sam couldn't make it, so it's well. They started the show. I came on a little late.
The Lord
so.
High Slag.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't able
seen
to
him in here
join.
for a while. What's going on with him? We need to.
He's been doing this work thing. I think that keeps him
That's
busy
lazy.
and tired and sleepy.
Lazy to do work when there's.
But yeah, thank you for having me, Dan Zanzi. Looking forward to doing these shows again whenever I have a chance. So, thank you.
Yeah, just stop
Always great.
stroking them bloody curtains,
I
mate.
won't do that. I won't do that. I know how much I don't want to do that. It's a tease. I know.
I know.
I think I've got
Bastard.
to do.
And happy holidays to everybody, whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy the time with their family, friends, and all of that, and have a good time.
Fantastic, Zanzi. Your final thoughts?
It's been emotional. I totally agree with Anthony there. Apparently, they're actually recording his shows and sending it out to insomniacs to sort of help them out. But yeah, everyone in chat has been great. It's been wonderful seeing Gary and his curtains, and Gary as well. Sorry, mustn't forget that. And Dan, you are pink, mate.
Pink, peachy pink.
Yeah.
Peachy pink.
I'm gonna try. Do talk a bit more, Zanzi. I know I never thought you'd hear me say that. I never thought I'd say it, but
Oh my God.
I'm gonna try and get the link. Anthony Herbert, you're a mod. Can't you? Rosie would have Gary's link in there. I'm trying to find it.
If
now
you
so
just type DWTT Arsenal, I should be the first thing that pops up. So DWTT Arsenal,
DWTT Arsenal.
and then I
Mr.
should pop
Tom's
up.
still there. Look at that.
Yeah.
You can tell-
I'm going to make an account DWTT Arsenal with a double A and be buzzing.
Do you know what that is? That would be funny to do that. Let's do that. But I also want to create an account just so I can go trolling Arsenal creators I don't like. I might be doing that. That might be a thing I do over the holidays.
Yeah, I'll try and I'll try to
hell.
see if I'll put it in the link and see if it works here. Let's see if it works, if I'm allowed.
Mr.
You a
Tom's
mod,
back as
you should
well.
be a mod. Yeah, I know. I just saw that. There you go. It's there.
Yeah.
So I've got to get a grip on who the mod. I mean, I think everyone here could be a mod. I just don't. I didn't. I thought it was me being presumptuous of somebody to make them a mod. But if anyone wants to be, Boy Tendio, you've got to be a big. I mean, you're always here. So there's to all of those you watching in catch up, the Red Eye Gooners, I know Collis was here earlier. The people, there's so many of you that make it a community. I'm so grateful to you. And I've enjoyed the absolute shit. You can always tell when I'm really enjoying a show because it goes over 2 hours. Because that means I can't do the cheeky AI generated clips.
You know what? It does it now in StreamYard.
Yeah, it's been doing it for a while. I've been using it for a while.
No, but I mean, you don't. There's no limit because I mean, Mr. Tom said he did a 3-hour show and he got the little thing that pops up at the end and he just hit generate AI, and that was a
All right.
3-hour plus show. So I don't think there's a limit anymore. I was able to do a show. I did my show on the weekend, but that was only an hour and a half, of course. But I don't think it matters anymore. At least it seems that way.
If it doesn't, because I don't have the time to be going through clips of shit. And it's like in a 3.5-hour show, I always say to myself, write down the funny things that happen. Be like, you know.
Sometimes you're in the middle of the thing. You don't have time. Like,
Yeah,
what time is it now? I
sometimes you're
don't have time.
having a laugh, and you don't be like, I don't come on here to do paperwork. Your papers are not in order. This has been another very funny show. Take my word for it. Clip that bit. Hawkwind's back. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
Hawkwind.
Hawk, have you been here
Hawkwind.
the whole time, mate? You're an absolute legend. Shall we end the stream on? We could end the stream on Hawkwind's song. I don't think I've ever played it all the way through. Or we could just go. Just fuck it. Just go. Just do that. End it
I
on-
prefer.
This manager, this board, this fan base, the Cronkies. I want my dummy.
Yeah, I'm going to end this stream on on something positive. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do No Panic in the Streets of North London. I'm still trying to promote this because the other song did really well on TikTok. This one's been like 6-7. Anyway, thank you all for being here. It is nothing without you. Until I see you again, I have no idea when. Maybe Wednesday afternoon, maybe after Christmas, I don't know. But be kind to each other and yourselves. Spend as much time with people that you love, real people who are, who you can actually cuddle, but only if they let you. Don't make this weird. And I hope you all have a fantastic break if I don't see you before then. Until I see you again, be lucky. Lots of love.
Bye.
Ciao.
One clash, one fall, time will explode. You could feel red blood run cold across the postcode. Got me down bad and the fear get viral. Fans screaming, season done like a survival spiral. But breathe, my brother, fear don't leave. North London Warriors built from a stronger creed. Arteta armor defense like granite. We don't melt, this ain't that planet. No panic in the streets of North London. Even when that moment makes red blood run cold, we stand strong. Fear fades quick when the baseline rolls.